Storm, the home, QEO, giving you all the action where local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Here's Cam Power.
Not quite do or die, but it will go a long way to shaping who goes all the way in 2024. It's Gisborne and Strath. Blake goes up and wins the first ball down, but the first clearance will be from Ernst. That answers the first question of who's going to ruck for them. Ernst bangs it inside forward 50. It clears to the back, which Gisborne will clear the ball out towards half back. They track hard. Good tackling pressure there from Darcy Mulquinney. Creates the first stoppage of the game right on the paint of 50.
The Storm, well, they're up against it here with Ernst in the ruck. Hosking was out of the game late in the day. Now they'll go forward. Now the Storm through Mulquinney. He'll go into the corridor. It's dangerous. 35 metres out. Swooping on the ball will be Brad Benacki. He goes backwards in order to go forward. The handball was good. Now beyond 50. Blake got his hands on the footy for the Bulldogs. Contested footy just in front of us. Overrunning the footy would be Darcy Mulquinney. The ball spills right towards the boundary line. And they're away now. It's the Bulldogs. And they are through Ryan Burke.
Yeah, Burke ran over the boundary line before he could regain possession, and the boundary umpire bringing back about 10 metres further forward. So we'll get a throw in. Sun shining at the QEO. Dead smack in the middle of the grandstand side wing here. True centre wing position. So it looks like Ernst is going to do a lot of the ruck duties without Tim Hosking. I'll repeat, he was the late out, replaced by Charlie King. Wins out. Gisborne look to try and go forward off the contest. A free kick for taking out the legs is against Blandford. It's going to be received by Dylan Johnson. Dylan Johnson sends the high ball inside forward 50 for the Dogs. No mark taken. It spills off hands. Clearing out of the contest. It comes out through Benacki. Benacki got it to Lakey. Lakey snaps it towards the top of the goal square. Bouncing through. It's going to be a chance if it sits for Luxmore. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. They're battling with it hard up against the boundary line. And eventually they'll be happy to see it over the boundary line. Seb Bartels down there putting on the pressure for the Dogs. Throw in. Right hand forward pocket. Barnard Street, end of the QEO.
And interesting, that first kick forward by Gisborne held up in the wind and dropped in front of the pack. So the wind definitely favouring the city end.
Umpire will throw it in. Barnard Street end. Up they'll go in the ruck. Radcliffe doing the ruck work now for the Storm. It falls to the bottom of the pack. A hurried kick out of the pack by Blake. Blake goes goalward, and it was saved on the goal line for a minor score. Just rushed through, so good shot at goal there for Gisborne. They are one behind. Storm yet to score. 2.5 gone. Opening term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So the wily old veteran Geary does the kick-in duties. Clears it up. Bounced off the chest of Gisborne, though. Going inside forward 50. That was Reaper. And a free kick's been pulled out inside forward 50 for the Dogs. A little bit of spite in this contest early. It's going to be a chance for the first shot on goal. 40 metres out from goal for Gisborne. Poolside change rooms. They've got a short option in board, and that's a very nice pass in. And Vescovi will take the mark, and he'll line them up 40 out. Slight angle, slightly to the right-hand side of the goals. Not any wind to deal with at the moment, though. Vescovi chips it even shorter again, and the mark's been taken for the Dogs. Happy to play it around. It's going to be a chance for Dylan Johnson. So he's the same distance out, but 5 metres inboard. So almost directly in front for Dylan Johnson. He quickly plays on. It's a low ball off the right, and it never looked likely. And Caleb Ernst will take the intercept mark for the Storm on the last line of defence.
Ernst now with the footy. He'll look to spread it. Swimming pool side. It goes beyond 50. In fact, it goes up to the wing. Geez, the wing got hold of that. They dive in after the footy. It'll be the Bulldogs that bring it back the other way now. It was a turnover. Shallow inside forward 50. Getting his hands on the footy was Hallinan. That's Mitchell Hallinan. Did really well. The ball moves to the 50-metre mark. Gisborne an attack at the Barnard Street and will have a ball up.
Yeah, interesting in that first warm-up, but you could see Shannon Geary kicking the ball a long way, and you just mentioned it landed on the centre wing.
So Storm will clear the ball up towards centre half forward. Reaper back there in a one-on-one, but it spills to the back. Storm have got the option running inside. Lurking down there for the Storm will be Charles. And Gisborne happy to see that one over the boundary line. Some appeals for an incorrect, insufficient attempt. But you don't see that paid in Bendigo footy. Right underneath the scoreboard. 4.5 minutes gone. Gisborne leading this game by 1 point. Boundary umpire will hurl the ball back into play. Sun shining here at the QEO. Gone up, winning it down, trying to find a way through there will be Charlie King. It goes towards goal. Knocked off the hands of Cooper Jones, and happy to see it through for a minor score is Liam Spear. So the Storm's first minor score is also a rush behind a peach. 5 minutes gone in the opening quarter. Score sponsor, Parsons Towing, Castlemaine.
Spears going to bring the footy back in for the Dogs. Short pass. Shallow inside forward 50. Vescovi got a push and nudge. That was there every day of the week. So the Dogs have it underneath the scoreboard in their defensive zone. Swimming pool side. He'll now go long. He'll try to send it to the wing, but holds up in the breeze a bit. Danahy got high. He jumped early. That was Jed. Couldn't quite get his hands on the footy. We mentioned pre-game that he's likely to take mark of the year at some stage and doesn't on that occasion. Halfway between the wing and left half forward. Gisborne in attack. The Storm are in attack. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So Charlie King doing the ruck work. Gisborne will clear the ball up. Hallinan comes from behind to make the knock. Spills to Gisborne. They'll work it up towards centre half forward. Coming out, McKenna. Tried to take off the tackle on a one-on-one. He shrugged through the tackle. Then he was able to send it inside forward 50 towards Bell Bartels. He just couldn't quite take it at the last second. And it was Blandford back there for the Storm, who did really well. And he was taken high by Bell Bartels, who will receive the free kick. And Strath will clear the ball out of defence.
Blandford, good player Blandford, gets his hands on the footy a lot. Decides to go swimming pool side again. They seem to be ignoring the broadcast side. Ernst hit him on the chest, but it just rubber-necked it and goes inside forward 50. If they've got another chance here, the Dogs, it spills towards the boundary line. There's a whistle on play, and it might be a free kick.
High tackle. Yeah, that was a high tackle against Strath there. Caleb Ernst, in his endeavours to get the football, got the Gisborne player around the neck.
So that Gisborne player with the footy is James Gray. He's in a pretty tough position. He's at 55 metres now. He'll cross the paint mark of 50. The man on the mark, Ernst, for the Storm, stands at around 38. Let's see what he can do with the ball. It goes long and strong. It will not be a goal. They set themselves. Danahy flew high and early again. Hurried kick out of the pack by the Storm, and it'll bounce beyond 50. Running onto the football now with the Dogs through Vescovi. Good, strong tackling work in there. They're doing well there, the Dogs. They're up. Johnson had the footy. Now it's a hurried kick. Corridor. Oh, they've got two to choose from. And Braden Blake, too far home from goal. He'll go short pass to Bell Bartels. It might be with the footy. No, with the blonde hair, it was Bell Bartels. Now they're still on half forward. They're doing all the attacking here, Dogs. Intensity's up, but it's going to the free kick to the Storm.
So Clossy will bring the ball across half back. He'll clear it up, and that has to be a front-on contact. It'll be Bode Stevens that will receive the free kick for the Storm. Stevens quickly handballs off to Matt Harvey. Harvey's got some pace. He'll wheel inside forward 50, but he kicks to a 2-on-1. But the 2-on-1 couldn't work, and the mark is taken by Malik Gordon. He used his body really well on Liam's spear, and he marked it on his chest as he fell to ground, but he's right on the boundary. Right-hand forward pocket, Town end to the ground. He'll have to go the snap. He comes in, snaps on the left, and he goes across to the left-hand side. Minus score. And it comes from Malik Gordon. 2 behind Strath, 1 behind Gisborne. 8 minutes gone, opening quarter. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers.
Yes, that was good work by Malik Gordon there. He got himself in between Reaper and Spears and was able to keep the ball away from both opposition.
Jake Normington for the Dogs plays on from fullback. Short pass, Banaki takes a one-hander. And I'll ask you to think about this, Don, but it must be an instruction to play the swimming pool side, surely.
Yeah, well, the wind seems to be favouring the Town end, but also swirling towards the scoreboard. So you would think that would be the best way to defend this ground today.
So Riley Wilson got to the front of the kick. He intercepts it for the Storm. He wastes no time and bangs it inside forward 50. Jones went up, couldn't quite take it, spills to ground. Gordon's lurking. Comes off hands, might have been taken without the footy. Umpire said no. Spear clears the kick out of defence, and it lands on the chest of a teammate who is charging out. That is marked. Oh, the handball from Den. What's happened here? Might be a free kick against. That would be why he's handballing it back to the opposition player. Free kick, Storm. So Clossy has the ball. And 50-metre penalty as well. Gisborne player just didn't quite clear out of the way there, and it's going to result in the opening goal right to the goal line. And a little bit of confusion, but in the end, it's going to be a goal to Daniel Clossy, Norm Jenkin.
Yes, Clossie should make no mistake from in the goal square, point blank range. Interesting, you don't need back chat when you're in a situation like that. And that's an easy goal for Strath, which the Gisborne Bulldogs have now got to work hard to get back.
So there's the opening goal off the back of a 50-metre penalty, and it is Daniel Clossie. So the Storm 1-2-8. Gisborne are one behind. We've played exactly 10 minutes in the opening quarter. Score sponsor, Daily Bricklaying and Construction.
Yeah, there was a free kick in that contest, and a little bit surprised that it was paid to Strath. I thought they were both hanging on, so very fortunate for Strath, and you'd be disappointed in a finals footy to give a 50 away that'll put you inside to put the first score on the board.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was for back chat in the end, because the ball was thrown well away from the person that got the free kick. I think it might have been a late 50-metre penalty for that.
Restart in the middle. Ernst won the tap for the Storm, but he put it straight down the throat of Clough of the Dogs. They'll now move it to the outer side wing. They've had enough of it inside forward 50. Inside they go now. It was Ryan Burke that sent it. Receiving a handball and mopping up nicely there was Gray. He goes goal. It's a shabby-looking kick right at the top of the square defensively. Shannon Geary kicks it beyond 50 defensively for the Storm, but it's only momentarily. Running on the footy now there was Clough. He's getting involved as well. We're 50 home from goal for the Dogs. Clough again picks it up on the outside of the boot. Goes goalward, and it's a goal! Gee whiz.
Did you see that?
Did I see that? I called it. Wow. What an absolute goal. It was 1-1-7 now. 1-1-7 here now at Gisborne. The Storm 1-2-8. Score sponsor Don Smallgoods. Don is good. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
It was Shane Clough, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I called it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I called it.
40 out, banana, deep in the pocket, all his energy going towards the boundary, and who said there was wind?
Yeah,
How good was that?
It's that's the reward that Gisborne needed for their work coming forward. You've got to make the most of every forward opportunity.
So Dennehy goes into the ruck for Gisborne. That's Zach. He wins the tap down, but it's going to be another ball up. Secondary ball up. Ernst still rucking for the Storm. We'll call it a dead heat. Ernst then tried to clear his own ball. Managed to get a handball out. Benaki was hot on his hammer, and he was able to take it. Benaki handballs backwards for Scovies in there for Gisborne. Couldn't quite take it. Jones goes through for Strath. Jones's handball was sharked. They're just messing around with it a little bit here. Dennehy, that's Jed's back there for Gisborne as well. And the umpire has pulled out
a ball up.
A ball up. Wasn't sure if he was signalling for a holding the ball or a ball up. So it'll be a ball up just inside the forward 50, Bendigo Town, end of the ground.
So it's inside forward 50 now. Ernst doing the ruck work for the Storm. A little handball over the top. He'll have a flying shot at goal. It goes wayward. And it'll be out of bounds on the full, I reckon. It is. But opportunity missed to capitalise in. They are not quite making the most of the win. The Storm, that is. It was Harvey with the footy. And now the ball. It's with Liam Spear for the Dogs, and he'll clear defensively.
Well, maybe the wind's not as big as what we thought. Reaper did decide to kick to the Barnard Street end of the ground after winning the toss. Spear brings the short pass in for the Dogs. He finds Matt Merritt in defence. So Matt Merritt will go again. Short pass, missed its target, but it worked out okay. Bouncing ball will be sent forward for the Dogs. McKenna's down there. Can give it to Blake. Blake's got time. Going to give it back to McKenna. The ruckman tried to step around his opponent, which was Blandford. Then he just banged it inside forward 50. Got over the back to Bell Bartels. Picked up the ball, but he was crunched in the tackle as soon as he grabbed it. And we'll have a ball up. Left-hand forward pocket. Barnard Street, end of the ground here at the QEO, which is absolutely bathed in sunshine. 13 minutes gone. It's the Gisborne Bulldogs trailing by 1 point.
We've got a contest on our hands here. It's the Dogs versus the Storm. That was Ernst versus Blake. Two of the young guns of the competition. 40 from goal for Gisborne to the Barnard Street end stoppage, and we'll have a ball up.
I thought Braden Blake was on then. He came off the interchange bench and managed to get released, but then just blazing away, putting it in forward to Seb Beltel.
Umpire will throw it up. It Blakes that wins the toss. On the end of a handball now for the Dogs was Ryan Burke, goes goalward, and he sprays it left, and it'll be a minor score. They even it up here at the QEO as the scores are now 8 apiece, 8 behinds apiece. Halfway through this first term, local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So Storm will bring the short pass into play. Geary's on the receiver, the short pass in the right-hand forward pocket. He then sends it further down the line. Mark is taken. This is Charlie King, the late inclusion for the Strathfieldsaye Storm. Sends it down the wing. Intended target will be Matt Harvey. It carries over the back, so Harvey then got the handball. Now they'll go inside forward 50. Gordon goes back, gets the ball exactly where he wants it, and he marks it on his chest, 30 metres out. Not too much of an angle to deal with. That was a magnificent kick inside forward 50, and that's the second mark that Gordon has taken, using his body nicely to guide the ball in.
Yes, it was good work by Gordon there. He had Trotter in the right position and was able to shield the ball and take an easy chest mark, leaving Trotter on the ground.
Good crowd in attendance here at the QEO for the first final. The sun is out and shining, which it wasn't about half an hour ago. But Malik Gordon has the chance. He's got one behind already today. 30 out, not too much of an angle. On the right, goes goalwards. He puts it across the face to the right-hand side. So he's got 2 minors. And the Storm increased their lead, 139, Gisborne 128. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers.
Liam Spear now will bring the footy in for the Dogs. He's looking to the swimming pool side, but Storm are awake to it, so he might have to come broadcast side. No, decides against it again. Plays on from fullback. It's a poor kick. His target was Dylan Johnson. It bounced in front of him, and 70 from the goal he's defending will have a ball in.
Yeah, disappointing kick, wasn't it? Wasn't a lot of pressure. He got some time by Shepherd by his back pocket there, and he still didn't hit the target. So the wind will be is still playing a part of this.
Couple of ordinary kicks out of defence so far from Spear as the throw in right on the paint of 50. Didn't carry to either ruckman, and we'll call a redo of the boundary throw in. Ben Lester's gone into the ruck for the Storm.
It's just really blown up. Have a look at the trees and the boundary umpire's top. It's really flapping
had no
around.
hope of getting the ball. It didn't even make it halfway in.
I think Jack Reaper would be really regretting his decision at this stage to not go towards the town end. This time the throw in still a bit shallow, but it was a bit higher. Comes off hands. Spear will be back there first for the Dogs, but he's hunted by a pair of Storm players there in Lockie Gill, and he's happy to see it over the boundary line for a boundary throw in, almost underneath the scoreboard. At the Bendigo town end of the ground, they're in attack, the Strathfieldsaye Storm.
Qualifying final here, the opening term. It's brought to you by Central Kitchens, score sponsor from Bendigo. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. As the ball, Malik Gordon did well. A little handball, a little give, and the goal it goes goalward. Charles will be the target, and it goes through for a minor score. So it's 1-4-10. The Storm not making the most of it at the moment to 1-2-8 Gisborne. 17.5 gone. Opening term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Change the kicker, John.
Yes.
Designated kicker rotation here.
After the last kick too, I think, Don. That's probably more the point.
So it's Normington that'll bring the ball back into play. He clears it out, runs his 15 metres before sending it down the line. Strong mark taken by Blake. He's a big, towering man, is Braden Blake. You get the ball in his head, there's not going to be too many players that will be able to outmark him. So Blake assessing all options before just going with a kick down the line, but it holds up in the breeze. It was looking for its intended target, which didn't quite make its way there. It was knocked off hands out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. It might have been Flynn Lakey out there, and we'll get a boundary throw-in. 90 metres out from goal, almost on the centre of the wing, poolside here at the QEO.
2-point margin, Storm lead. They've got the advantage of a pretty strong breeze here at the QEO. You've seen that ball with the throw-in just drifted. Blake got his hands on the footy, but it's all with the Storm. They'll go inside forward 50 now. Pack forms. Reaper did really well for the Dogs. Puts it towards the boundary line, offering support with Jared Ainsworth. The kick is smothered. Now they'll come back the other way through Sheen, the Storm. That's another turnover. Good defensive play. Blake getting involved a lot in this game. He has offered support by Lord. Little push in the back, Don, you see it?
Tackle.
Yeah, high orb in the back.
To the Dogs.
To Macklin Lord.
So Macklin Lord receives the free kick. Across half back for Gisborne. He'll go with a short pass, which was an absolute shocker for Blake. It's sharked. It works its way to Gordon. Gordon then tried to fend off the Spear tackle, and he dropped the ball in the process. Liam Spear held strong, and he gets a free kick for holding the ball across half back for Gisborne. Let's see if this kick's a little bit better for Liam Spear.
I liked it, Cam. It wasn't a spear tackle. It was a spear tackle, if that made sense. He sends it to the outer side wing, swimming pool side. Good game of footy we've got here. It'll come back inside forward 50 now for the Storm. It was like a tracer bullet. 40 metres out directly in front. Gordon, he's got a player on. Short pass laterally. And that was good vision. He spotted up Lockie Gill, and Lockie Gill has got the opportunity to put the Storm, well, further in front now because they lead it currently by 2 points.
just looking at when Strath exit here, it's just, when Gisborne exit here, they don't seem to have a bit of a plan on how they're going to exit into this win. So that was a terrific return back into inside 50. And the set shot's taken.
Lockie Gill! I like it. He slams it through and they get to him. So that was a really good response to a bit of play. They haven't seen the goals for a little while in this quarter. Scores sponsor, Bendigo City Framers. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. The Storm lead, 2-4-16. Gisborne 1-2-8, 20 minutes gone, opening term.
Yeah, Lockie Gill's certainly turned into an A-grade midfielder for the Strath Storm this year. And once again, he showed then his running. He was on a half-back flank when that ball went forward and found himself in the right spot to take good lateral thinking from Malik Gordon.
So we're back in the middle. Ernst wins the tap down. Gill then follows up the last goal with a clearance inside forward 50. It bounces off the chest of its target, but it works out. Storm through Behrens. Behrens handballs backwards to go forwards. Now they'll send it inside forward 50. Riley Wilson has to go back with the flight. It spills out the back to Jones. Jones gives the handball off. Storm go looking for Gill again, but Gisborne will have the weight of numbers. Handball to Spear missed, but Lakey was able to recover. Then he'll get it to Spear. Spear's kicked down the line. Hallinan and Ratcliffe have got time. Hallinan goes the block so Ratcliffe can get the handball. Handball goes backwards to Jaddy Jackson-Lay. Jackson-Lay's short pass is a good one to Blandford. Blandford clears it out around the pull side wing for the Storm. They'll go looking at inside forward 50 here. It comes from Murphy. Murphy's kick, well, it carries in the breeze because it just rolls out of bounds for a boundary throw in right underneath the scoreboard, which reads 21 minutes gone, opening quarter of the qualifying final. Gisborne 1-2-8, the Storm 2-4-16. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder.
Yeah, Storm certainly playing these windy conditions much better than Gisborne in this first quarter with the way they use it.
Umpire throws it in. Blake uses his body well. He grabbed the footy out of the air and he put it up the chimney. And the wind got it whilst it was up there.
Good mark.
And that was a great contested mark on the outer side.
Yeah, Trotter.
Trotter with the footy for the Dogs. He'll dump it down the line to the outer side wing. Running on the footy was Blandford of the Storm. It's turnover. Jackson-Lay getting involved. It's a left footer. He'll send it to half forward. They'll set themselves. Blake got a lot of that footy for the Dogs. Couldn't quite mark it. It spills to ground. It'll be a stoppage. And on left half forward, the Storm are in attack. 22 minutes gone. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. 8-point margin.
Throw in. Clossy goes after it for the Storm, but taken back over the boundary line. That breeze is just playing all sorts of havoc on the poor boundary umpires trying to do the throw-ins today. So we'll try again. See the trees behind absolutely blowing a gale, mainly going towards the Bendigo City end, which is the end the Storm are going to. Ball hits the bottom of the pack off the throw-in. And we'll try again for a third time, but this time as a ball up. Umpire Norton throws the ball up in the air. Ernst went without it. Geary tried to find a way through. Then Behrens went through for the Storm as well. And we'll have a fourth ball up. See if you can get us out of this, John.
This opening term sponsored by Central Kitchens in Bendigo. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo, as it'll be it'll either be a ball in or a stoppage. It's going to be a ball in. So we're stuck across half forward. Left half forward, Stormer in attack, kicking to the Bendigo City end, which is favoured by a pretty strong breeze here. Caleb Ernst got the tap for the Storm. Clossy offers support. So does Geary. Shannon Geary gets one too high. And it's a free kick on the outer side. He plays on quickly now. He'll bring it inside forward 50. It bounces to the back of the pack. Tracking the football there was Bode Stevens. He let it go out of bounds. And 20 around from goal. Storm in attack will have a ball in.
Yeah, even although they haven't scored much, I think that Gisborne will be happy with where they're situated in this first quarter. Storm haven't made the most of this breeze.
23 minutes gone, opening quarter. Throw in. Dennehy might have offended on a high. Umpire said no. Gisborne turned out the ball wide. Clearing kick out of defence from Vescovi. Bell Bartels goes through with the bald head this afternoon. Not quite whether he'd have to plaster that head in sunscreen, I wouldn't imagine, Norm, but not too far off.
No, it's not like last Saturday where all the players were looking for the sunscreen.
He's got a bit of a white dome too. I thought it was blonde tips for a little while when I first seen him, but it's not. It's the ball dome as Ernst grabbed the footy out of the air. Geez, that breeze has really kicked up now. As the ball spills to the outer side wing, swimming pool side will have a stoppage. And there'll be another ball up.
The thing that's been impressive by Storm so far is their tackling. They haven't let Gisborne players free.
Ernst wins the tap for the Storm. Wilson offers support, big punch to left half forward, and we'll have another stoppage, Dawn Moran.
Yeah, I think we're probably about our 8th stoppage at that point, isn't it? It doesn't seem to get away from the pool side and on that back flank.
No, I haven't seen much footy down the grandstand side wing at all. It was shovelled forward for the Storm, but they knock it forward, Gisborne. Now they can run away into the middle of the ground. Kick will be turned over, though. It'll handball forward. Now it's taken by Charlie King. Charlie King's handball went straight into the contest. In the contest, though, was Benaki, the one player from Gisborne you probably don't want to have the ball in the hands of. Vescovi went through, appeals for a high tackle. Umpire says no, it was holding the ball, and it's going to be a free kick for the Storm. So they'll look to send it inside forward 50. Looking for an option here is Stevens. He sends a roost.
Wow.
It carries in the breeze. It goes all the way for a minor score. Geez, that must have went 65 metres. It almost cleared the fence as well. 2 goals, 6 now, the Strathfieldsaye Storm. They're 18. Gisborne 1-8. 10-point margin. We approach quarter time here. Score sponsor Parsons Towings in Castlemaine.
Spear will play on. Short pass for the Dogs. Hits Normington. Deep in his defensive arc. Normington now. He'll spread it wide. Poor kick. Kicks it out of bounds on the full. So you don't need that when you're kicking against a pretty stiff breeze.
And you saw the swing. It swung right out, didn't it? It looked like it stayed inside, and then that last moment, that swirly wind caught it and took it over the line.
Hallinan now, more swing than Elvis Presley as the ball goes. Riley Wilson's got front position, got his hands on the footy. Kick is smothered from defence for the Dogs. Really good work now. They'll work it. They need to be careful. Umpire will let it go until we all get tied up. And underneath the scoreboard that reads Gisborne 8, the Storm 17. 26 minutes gone. Opening term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Wouldn't it be nice to see some play on this grandstand side wing? It's been all the poolside wings so far this afternoon. And the boundary umpire over there is definitely earning his money's worth. A lot of boundary throw-ins all on that right-hand side. We're underneath the scoreboard. 9-point lead to the Storm as we approach quarter time. Probably a 2 or 3 goal lead, which makes the decision for Reaper to kick towards the Barnard Street end as an interesting decision for mine. Gisborne tried to clear the ball out of defence. Little kick off hands, didn't find its target. Clossey's in there for the Storm, but going through Benaki. Got the handball to a teammate, to Blake. Ratcliffe ran him underneath the footy. Ball bounced out the back for the Storm. It comes through Jackson Lay. Jackson Lay's handball back inboard, didn't quite find its target. Ratcliffe battling away. Bell Bartel goes in to lend a hand for Gisborne, but Ratcliffe was not letting that one out. Ball up, true centre wing, pull side here on the QEO.
Finals footy going all across Central Victoria in the Loddon Valley, the second semi. Reserves final score, Pyramid Hill 3-9-27, defeated Morong 2-7-19. So from that scoreline, you'd think it's pretty tough conditions with the wind all around Central Victoria. As the Storm, they'll move it inside forward 50 now, 30 from home. Doing some great defensive work. Reaper floats back into the defensive square and we'll have a stoppage. 35 out, directly in front. Storm lead, 17 playing 8. 28 minutes gone, opening term. This quarter is sponsored by Central Kitchens in Bendigo. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Ball off hands. Gisborne will clear the ball out from Clough. Clough's kick just swings in the breeze. They'll clear it up the poolside wing. Ratcliffe's back there for the Storm. Had to take an uncontested mark, but it was swirling, so a bit tough. Ratcliffe comes inboard, then he bangs it towards the top of the 50. Intended target will be Behrens. And the mark is taken. Might not have been Behrens it got to in the end. It's a mark to the Storm, and it's going to be Zach Charles who will line him up right on the paint of 50. In the HD FNL, the preliminary final under 18s earlier, it was Lockington 9-7-61, defeated Huntley 8-3-51.
So Cam accuracy will be the one here, won't it?
It will be, and also in the reserves, Mount Pleasant 11-5-71, defeated Leachful Gumbau at 9-9-63.
Apologies there, Cam. I thought you were done with that score, so sorry for the listeners for that. But I thought the range there, the last kick from Stevens went about 70 metres, but that one pulled up short.
So Charles's kick was through for a minor score. 10-point lead to the Storm. Late stages of the opening quarter.
Spear will bring it in for the Dogs. Steps outside of the defensive square. Now it's a kick. Well, that's effective, but geez, they're being nervous kicking out from full back. You can see the effect that it's starting to have on teams psychologically out there kicking against the breeze. Right, the Dogs plays on quickly. The man that played on was Burke.
big
Burke
mark.
goes to the wing, and it was an absolute screamer, and it'd be Blake again. So Blake getting involved, defensive side of centre wing. Swimming pool side, kicking to the Barnard Street end. Twirls the ball in his hands. Short pass to Bell Bartels. Bell Bartels receives. Barely went the 15 metres. Bell Bartels goes 20 metres back. Needs to be careful because the breeze got it. Vescovi with a juggling mark. So don't tip fate when you're kicking against a pretty strong breeze, I reckon.
No, not at all. Vescovi then sends it down the poolside wing. Big pack of players. There's probably about 10 players all flew for that ball. It spills out. Clossey's clever handball backwards to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe bangs it up towards centre half forward. Jones comes in. Couldn't quite take it. Spills out the back. Flying shot for the Storm. Right to the line. It's through for a minor score. That came from Zach Charles, who's got a second minor. And the Storm just not taking full advantage with this breeze. They are 2-7. Gisborne 1-2-8. We've ticked over 30 minutes in the opening quarter. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder.
Spear. He's had about, well, he's at least had 7 because they've kicked 7 behinds, but he's racking up the possessions. Trotter, he takes a mark. Short pass, it's intercepted by Riley Wilson. Now the Storm. Inside forward 50 again. It goes to the hot spot. Spear got his hands on the footy for the Dogs. Siren sounds quarter time, and we take a collective breath for the Dogs. They trail 1-2-8 to the Storm, 2-7-19.
So that's quarter time here at the QEO. A cracking game going on. And it is the Strathfieldsaye Storm. Probably not taking full advantage with this breeze. Earlier on today in the under-18s, it was Golden Square 11-9-75, defeating Gisborne 4-4-28. And in the reserves,
He's leading into this strong wind scoreboard end, town end. So let's hand it over to you, John, and we're just about underway.
sizable crowd in attendance here at the QEO as we're waiting for the last of them to get off the ground. The second quarter to get us underway. Here's John Hunter.
Up they go in the ruck. It'll be Ernst and Blake. Ball spills to the outer side. Gill, a little toe poke forward for the Storm. Lakey of the Dogs getting involved as well. Bit of sloppy play. They'll move it off half back here eventually, the Dogs. Hurried kick. Goes to half forward now. They'll set themselves to the city end. Here's the Dogs' real opening chance here. A bullet pass to Paddy McKenna. Hits him right in front of the eyes, and 40 home from home. He'll have a shot from goal kicking to the city end.
And as we said during the break between ourselves here, Don, attack from the scoreboard side, and who certainly got the excellent position here to have a shot at goal.
Paddy McKenna.
Grandstand side, Norm?
Grandstand side, yeah.
Paddy McKenna now. He'll cross the paint mark of 50. A known goal kicker. Pretty difficult conditions here. He just kicks through the footy, and the breeze just moves it to the left marginally, which is enough to cause a minor score. So the Storm are now 2-7-19. They lead in Gisborne 1-3-9. Opening minute, local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So Geary will bring the ball back into play for the Storm. His short pass finds its way into the hands of Caleb Sheehan, who's in the bright yellow boots this afternoon. Right in the middle of the defensive 50. Bell Bartels and Geary going at it off the ball as well. As the kick goes out towards the wing, Clossey will get in front and take the mark for Strathfieldsaye. So Clossey's got it just outside defensive 50, but he's going to slow things up. And the Storm are really content to play this poolside wing. He's going to send it straight down the line and into the breeze. It carries, and the intercept mark will be taken for the Dogs. It is Jack Reaper. Reaper quickly plays on, sends it up towards centre half forward, but getting back and taking intercept mark for the Storm will be Darcy Mulquinny.
Mulquinny in the long sleeves this afternoon. Quarter time in North Central. Birchip 3-7-25. Lead Sea Lake 1-1-7. As the ball go inside forward 50 again for the Dogs, just as I was reeling off that score.
Yeah, it was an intercept pass straight into the middle, and they were quickly able to turn the ball and send it straight back in towards Luxmore.
And Luxmore got hit on the chest, and he'll line them up. Not much of an angle on this occasion, should convert.
Yes, he should learn from McKenna's kick a couple of seconds earlier, and should make no mistake.
Right post, Norm, what do you
right
think?
goal post, and let the ball just drift across.
I'm one for just kick it towards the centre of the goals as you always do, and just whatever will be, will be. Let's see what Luxmore does. Kicks it to the right, stays right, minor score. Stayed straight too, dare I add, Don Moran, 1-4-10, Gisborne 2-7-19, the Storm.
I'll give him that message that just aim for the centre of the sticks.
Well, sometimes they overcomplicate it. I reckon I'm serious about that. If you overthink it, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Well, back in that long time ago when we played, we used to basically aim for the goal umpire.
That's right.
So,
yep.
hands of the gods, that we're saying, John? The hand of the gods in regards to the wind?
But interesting to note that Gisborne have been able to set the wall up across the centre when they've been coming out of, when Strath have been coming out of defence and putting it straight back in.
Waiting for the ball to come back from over the fence, John. Eventually it finds its way to Shannon Geary. So Geary then chips the short pass to Matt Harvey. Harvey underneath the scoreboard, and it is just evident that the Storm just want to play this poolside wing at all costs. Harvey bangs it down the line. Comes off hands. Clossy in there for Strath, fires it out wide. Shan gets it and just tries to get it forward. Wilson's handball back towards Clossy, but it was turned over. Vescovi will be taken in the tackle and we'll have another ball up.
Cross half forward now. Dogs in attack, kicking to the city end. They do have the advantage according to the weather. Let's see if they can hit the scoreboard. There's a whistle on play. Riley Wilson gets a free kick for the Storm for 1 too high. He puts it to the wing to Harvey. Harvey, good strong contested mark. He was at the back, the two-player contest. Now he plays on. Oh, it's a shank ball to half forward. It's a copter, ugly looking kick, but it was effective. They'll move it inside forward. 50, poor kick. Jed Danahy intercepts for the Dogs, and he'll send it back the other way now.
So Dennehy's kicks a good one out of defence for Gisborne. Finds its way up, and now they send it up towards the direction of Bell Bartels. Turned over. Geary for the Storm. Sends it up towards centre half forward. Off hands for Strath. Jai Chambers is in there. Now they'll send it inside forward 50. Wilson tries to sit underneath it, but it swirls around in the breeze. Gisborne try and bang it out of defence. Still off hands. Now they'll come into the pocket, the Dogs. Little scrubby worm burner kick out of defence goes up the line. Harry Luxmore gets it. Luxmore over the top to Lord. Then Macklin Lord just dribbles one and it goes out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
He's not having a great day on the boot, Macklin Lord. I don't think he's hit a target yet.
No.
That last kick of Flynn's out of defence was a great one along the ground because he had two opponents coming at him. Got the ball clear.
So the umpire will throw it in. True centre wing. Ernst, it bounced off him. Bounced straight to Caleb Sheen, and we'll have another stoppage.
Yeah, watch the boundary throw-ins. The wind is absolutely playing havoc with this ball.
Even that ball up by the umpire, it only went about 3 metres up, but it just moved as the Dogs will go inside forward 50 now. It was a 50-metre ball. Opportunities. McKenna, where's he? He's loking. Bell Bartels, Lakey as well. Danahy, he was on the end of a handball that was not really effective. Causes a turnover. Clossy to Ernst of the Storm, and he takes a chest mark, and he's away on centre wing.
That he is. He plays on, then he has to give the handball off. That's the running pass there from Charlie King. He sends it into the forward pocket. Mark taken for the Storm. It'll be Gill, who wheels around on the right, sends it right to the top of the goal square. Big fly from Gordon, and Gordon pucks the mark on the top of the goal square. Malik Gordon, a terrific target inside forward 50 for Strathfieldsaye. Shouldering a lot of the work since James Shishka's injury earlier in the year. But Malik Gordon will go back and line them up. He's got 2 behinds this on the day. He's got 23 goals on the season. So this will be for goal number 24 if he can kick truly. But from the top of the goal square, surely he cannot miss from there. Takes a short approach. Malik Gordon comes in on the right, stabs at it, and well, he's missed it.
Oh.
He put it to the left, and he really shanked it to the left. It never looked like coming back because he kicked it with a lot of ferocity. He's got 3 minor scores. The Storm have got 8. They're 2-8-20. Gisborne 1-4-10. 6 minutes gone. Second quarter. Score sponsor, Rural and Outdoors, Castlemaine.
Liam Spear plays on for the Dogs. Geez, the breeze got it, and it drifted straight to Ernst of the Storm.
No,
so
it's gone the other way. John, free kick to
Ernst
Braden Blake.
Yeah.
Blake, free kick, defensive side of the centre wing.
Ernst let the umpire know too. He wasn't happy with that decision.
He goes wide. He finds Danahy. Hit him on the chest. This is Jed Danahy, defensive side of centre wing. Swimming pool side. Jed Danahy. It's a 65-metre ball. It goes into the forward pocket. McKenna was the target. He tracks the footy towards the boundary line. They keep it in play. Little short pass and hits the target.
That's got to be 50.
Johnson takes a mark. And tell me what happened there, Don Moran.
He hasn't played on, has he?
He has played on.
Oh, no.
No, he hasn't.
Let's
The
take a
umpire
deep
called
breath.
time
It can't
off.
be.
Umpire had called time off.
He did play on, but you're
No,
right.
he's paid
Don.
the 50.
He's paid the 50-metre penalty.
Because that was a bit brutal, that defensive play Gisborne, from Strath.
And as all that is going on, a little bit of a hoo-ha. Dylan Johnson just casually on the left puts it through for a goal. Score sponsor Parsons Towing. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. And Gisborne, they needed that goal. They are 2-4-16. The Storm 2-8-20.
And the last two passages of play have shown how you can use the ball into the wind, the way Strath did it by running it, and then with the wind, the way Gisborne did with the big long kick forward into their attacking zone and putting pressure on the defenders.
So we'll go back in the middle. Ernst and Blake, it's a big battle. Blake wins it down. It was a set play as Benaki come charging through, just couldn't quite take it, spills off hands. And we'll have a ball up in the middle of the ground at the QEO. Still at the bottom of the pack is Caleb Sheehan. I'd like to see him get a little bit more involved for Strathfieldsaye, key player for them. Knocked up, Benaki gets it, clears it inside forward 50. McKenna comes charging out and gets it. Pat McKenna comes out, he juggled it on the second attempt. Clossy tried to jump in front of him, but he was unable to do so, and McKenna marks. 40 metres out, probably about 15 metres in from the boundary, right-hand forward pocket. So not an easy kick in these conditions at all for Paddy McKenna, and he'll line them up.
Not a bad connection. Blake to Benaki to McKenna. Now we've got a set shot.
Already kicked a minor today as Pat McKenna. He comes in on the right, he starts it left and lets the breeze take it back nicely. That's the experience and the class of a player like Pat McKenna coming through. He slots the goal, and the Gisborne Bulldogs, they get themselves in front for the first time in this contest. They're 3-4-22, the Strathfieldsaye Storm. 2-8-20, 9 minutes gone, second quarter. Score sponsor Don Smallgoods is good.
In the last two forward 50 entries for Gisborne could be ominous for the Strath Storm if it keeps up that way. Nice long kicks into advantage and putting it out, let your teammates run onto.
So back in the middle, it'll be Braden Blake against Ernst. Blake taps it to his feet. Ernst overran the footy, offering support as Sheen of the Storm. He'll send it inside forward 50. They hit the pack. Gordon was the target. He hit it pretty hard. 40 out from goals. Vescovia, a little give, but was ineffective. Charles, a little cute handball over the top for the Storm. Stoppage, and 49 from goal. We'll have a ball up, Storm in attack.
I love the pressure from both sides there and their ability to lock it in, Strath.
Malik Gordon limping after that attempt to mark in that last contest. Not good for Storm.
Wilson finds a way through, handballs it to the top. It'll be taken. It'll be a flying snap at goal from Matt Harvey, and it starts right. It goes out of bounds on the full for a penalty free kick the way of the Dogs. Quarter time score at Princess Park in Maryborough. It is Lexton, they're 2-3-15 leading Denali 1-3-9. Lexton kicking with the breeze in the opening quarter.
So we've got a contest on our hands here. It's a 2-point margin.
Kick.
Short pass, turnover, and it's ended up with Caleb Sheen. So the Storm, they've got an opportunity here, Don.
That's 4 shanks from Macklin Lord. Not taking his individual stats, but they're really noticeable because that one's going to hurt too, isn't it?
I reckon you might be. You just counted him.
Yeah.
Caleb Sheen. That ball holds up in the breeze. It's to the hot spot. Good work there. That's a hurried kick by Reaper, but he's coughed it up. He's kicked it straight to the opposition in Clossy. Clossy now of the Storm. Turns and goes. He goes into the pocket, running with the fly to the foot. He did well defensively. Ryan Burke takes a mark and saves the day.
So the next kick out is what's been the trouble for Gisborne in this quarter. Burke plays on before sending it down the pull side wing, far side at the QEO. And again, it's a turnover, so it's in the hands of Strathfieldsaye's Cooper Jones. So Jones has got it in the long sleeves this afternoon. He'll send it inside forward 50. It's a shallow-looking kick inside forward 50, but it's found its way into the chest of Lockie Gill, whether or not it's the intended target or not. Gill quickly plays on the right, goes goalwards, and wow, he's kicked it straight to the opposition. Jack Reaper playing goalkeeper for Gisborne.
And he almost turned the footy off over. He kicked it to defensive 50. Chambers getting involved with the Storm. We're still 49 from goal. Picked up nicely there by Mulquinny. Mulquinny's kick, it's awkward and it's low and it goes left and it's a minor score. So it's the Storm 2-9-21 trailing Gisborne 3-4-22, 1 point margin. 12 and a half gone in the second term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So Spear will bring the ball back into play on the back of the Jai Chambers minor score. 1 point lead to Gisborne. 12 minutes gone in the second quarter. Spear will look to go straight down the middle. Kick carries. Ernst comes through and puts in the contest, and it's gone high. Free kick Gisborne. Advantage taken by Bell Bartel. Sends it down towards McKenna, who takes the mark. Right on the top of 50. It's a sprint race to get back to the top of the goal square. If McKenna wants to go over the top, he can. He decides not to. And why would you when you're Pat McKenna and you're 49 metres out directly in front of goal? You've already got 55 goals on the season. It'll be a good chance to add to that from here. He'll release it from right on the paint of 50. Kicking with the breeze, so the distance should not be a worry. The accuracy may be. McKenna comes in, and the distance definitely was not the worry. The accuracy was as it floats away to the right-hand side. And the Storm now trail this game by 2 points. 3-5-23 Gisborne, 2-9-21 Strathfieldsaye. 14 minutes gone in the second quarter of the qualifying final at the QEO. It is Bendigo Football League, week 1 of the finals. Score sponsor, Central Kitchens Bendigo.
Yes, as we've seen from Gisborne this quarter, get the ball from centre of the ground, kick it long and give your teammate the chance. And they've made the most of it. McKenna's made the most of it. He's got 1 goal, 2 this quarter so far.
Shannon Geary will go short, kicking from full back. Oh, it's ineffective. And a player like that must be under pressure if he's doing things like that. Gill tries to offer support and mop up for him, but they all tie it up. And that was a dangerous kick underneath the scoreboard, 2-point margin. Yeah,
witnessing both teams struggling to kick it out of defence and get an exit. So it's not just Gisborne showing that in the first quarter. We've got Strath struggling as well, trying to exit their D50.
When a player like Shannon Geary makes a blue like that, you know it must be tough as Ben Lester gets his hands on the footy. It's a scrubbing kick forward. Shannon Geary, handball over the top to Jones. Jones, his kick was hurried. The breeze just pushed it towards the boundary line. Keeping it in okay was Featherby. Featherby will go inboard. He'll hit Mulquinny, and it's a high ball up the chimney. It's almost going to go backwards, Cam.
Yeah, look at that one sitting up in the breeze. Flynn Lakey came in and read it best for the Dogs. He took the mark almost over the back of his head. He'll then send it inside forward 50. Lakey, good ray to the front there. Mark almost completed for Luxmore, but he bring it to ground for all the Crummers, and they all dive on top of it for a ball up inside forward 50. Umpire Norton crosses his arms and says, I will ball this one up. Good contest at the QEO. 2 points in it. 15 minutes gone, second quarter. Wind causing havoc, but it's a good close contest. Storm clear the ball out of defence. It's going to be sent back inside there from Clough, and Clough's kick carries out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
It's not a bad outcome, though, really. It's a boundary throw in. More pressure for the Strath's defence. So let's see if we can maybe get Brad Manaki on the run here.
Yeah,
Braden Blake in the ruck.
Been a little bit quiet compared with his normal usual self, Manaki.
The boundary umpire, the young fella has to walk in, and he did well against the breeze. Ernst, he won the tap to the front of the pack. Blake gets involved. Kick is smothered. In fact, it might be a free kick. It was pretty fortunate, I reckon, but it's going to Darcy Mulquinny.
Yeah, he's unlucky. I think it's actually got pushed out of his hand. Anyway, here we go. Exit again. So it's high risk, isn't it, across goal?
Yeah, especially with that short pass in this breeze. Clossy made it look all right, though. He took the mark, clears it out of the fence. Again, the Storm tacked the far wing here at the QEO. Murphy was at the bottom of the pack. It spills out now. They'll work it forward here through Stevens. Stevens' kick is effective. Handball was not so effective there from its intended target. Free kick for a high tackle. And they will get away with it. Bode Stevens for the Storm. He has a couple of options inboard if he wants it. Decides to go with a short pass to Sheehan. Sheehan takes the mark and quickly goes. On the right, he wheels inside forward 50. Getting out the back and taking the mark for the Storm will be Mulquinny. But he's 55 metres from goal against the breeze. He doesn't like his chances. He's looking. And now eventually he's going to decide to load it up. He comes in. Oh, he had everyone fooled as he chipped it into the pocket looking for the intended target, Harvey. It bounced just in front of him. Gisborne get away with one. They'll handball their way out of trouble. But it's turned over. Clossy gets it. He sends it across the face, and Gisborne will clear the kick out of defence. It's a high ball, but it's going to be coming straight back as Cooper Jones is all on his own in a paddock of space.
He dropped a mark he should have taken, but he had plenty of time, so he goes backwards in order to go forward to the wing to Featherby. Featherby's ball holds up in the breeze again. Blake gets his hands on the footy. Hurried kick for the Dogs. Sends it to the wing. Contest again by Featherby, but they'll move it through the middle here, the Dogs. They're on. Bell Bartels is out. If they can only find him, it's a kick. Oh, makes him work. He's labouring after the football. It goes to 49 metres. Bell Bartels. Geary did well. Bell Bartels kept his feet around the corner. Might have come off hands. Now it's a turnover. Shannon Geary, short pass, goes corridor, and they're going to get away with it. Stevens short pass to Leicester, and they are away the Storm.
Straight through the middle they'll go as Clossy receives the handball. He'll send it up towards centre half forward. Coming out and taking the mark for the Storm will be Zach Charles. Charles quickly goes on the right, sends it in the Gordon direction. Gordon got a run at it, but great play into front of defence was Dennehy for the Dogs. He quickly takes the intercept mark. Wheels into the middle of the ground where he'll find Braden Blake. Blake just roosts one inside forward 50. Off the hands of Featherby. McKenna will check after the footy, but he won't get there because it just kept rolling out of bounds for a boundary throw in. And we'll get it thrown in. Right-hand forward pocket, Gisborne by 2 points, but they're in attack.
Yeah, good intercept mark by Spear up there in that last forward entry from the Storm.
Yeah, it was Spear that rebounded from the back pocket. 2-point margin here for the Dogs. 19 minutes gone, second term. As the ball is thrown in, Ratcliffe keeps his feet. It's a little bit of a trick in keeping your feet in these conditions as well. Stevens, hurried ball by hand. The kick was smothered. It goes to the hot spot. They've got numbers here. Short pass will come out.
He's marked that.
Target is Benaki. It was at the fingertips. Didn't allow it. Tell us what happened, Don Miranda's. We'll have a ball up 40 from goal.
Absolute worm burner exit, and Brad Menaki's actually dived and marked that. Hasn't been paid though. Umpire had a good spot, but must have hit the deck from where not to be paid.
Well, Benaki certainly thought it was a mark. He got up pleading his case. Riley Wilson handballs off to Clossy out of defence. Knocked forward for the Storm. Shan will then clear the ball. It'll go down the wing. Dennehy will be first back to it for Gisborne.
He should have a shot from here, seriously.
He's a big booming kick of the footy, but he's probably 90 metres out from goal. Malcolm Blight might have had a shot if it was him. It spills out the back of the pack. He'll call it an assist as they dribble it towards goal, the Dogs, and they put through the goal underneath the scoreboard. Terrific play, Gisborne. And that is a brilliant goal for the Dogs.
I think it's young Shane Clough, isn't it?
And it will be resulting in a goal for the Dogs. I'll get confirmation on who that player was. It was Dylan Johnson that puts the goal through for the Dogs. So Dylan Johnson makes it 4-5-29. Strathfieldsaye 2-9-21. 20 minutes gone. Second quarter score. Sponsor Parsons Towing, Castlemaine.
And that's his second for the quarter, Cam?
Yes. 2 goals for Dylan Johnson, our first multiple goal scorer for the day.
Really enjoying this game of footy. It's red hot, isn't it?
Kick 5 the last time we watched Gisborne earlier this year against Golden Square did Dylan Johnson.
Might come down to who makes the least errors and just are willing to back their arm and just forget about the conditions. But the desire and the want for the footy from both sides is good. Riley Wilson wins it for the Storm now. Sends it to left half forward. The ball will go inside forward 50 now. It's with Jackson Lay. It's on the left. Holds up in the breeze. Probably should have gone a little bit lower than that. We're still on 50. Contested ball. Half back it is the Dogs. Getting involved also will be Macklin Lord. Lakey as well. Short pass now to Dennehy. Too severe for him. Hits Ratcliffe on the chest for the Storm. Bounces off. Goes out of bounds. On a broadcast side. Ball up. 8-point margin. Gisborne lead.
I think Dylan Johnson was a bit lucky there not to give away a free kick. He punched that ball away after it went out of bounds.
I think Ratcliffe probably should have marked that one turnover.
Yeah, should have.
Almost landed in his breadbasket, as you like to call it, Johnny, as Benaki goes through for Gisborne. Couldn't take it. Sheen tried to go off the ground. Didn't make any contact with the footy, and as a result, 2 players dive on top of it. We'll have another ball up. Centre wing. And a good hot contest here at a QEO, a swirly QEO. Dogs will win the clearance. It'll be sent forward by Macklin Lord. Lord finds a target this time. It's in the hands of Pat Trotter. So Trotter, dead smack in the middle of the QEO. Will quickly play on the right. He'll send it inside forward 50. McKenna's got to beat 3, but it spills out the back where Bell Bartels was standing all on his own. And Bell Bartels dribbles the goal. 3 Strath players went the contest. Bell Bartels was at the back and he put it through. Terrific goal for Gisborne. And they increase their lead. They are now 5-5-35, taking full advantage of this breeze. The Storm 2-9-21, 22 minutes gone. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder.
I'm just keeping an eye on who was standing Seb Bell, but whoever it was went to that high ball contest. A bit of Russian roulette in regards to Seb Bell just staying in the square, and it's always going to come over in these conditions, isn't it? So Back to the centre.
It will, and it'll be the Dogs that win it again. And if you're forward worth your salt, you're always going to go back, aren't you, Don, with these conditions?
Oh, totally. Back shoulder all day.
Ratcliffe, he was back on that occasion, so the ball fell to him. So we kick it to half back. It'll only be momentarily as, well, contest forms. Handball over the top. Riley Wilson, Storm. He's got support. The support came from Gill. Gill of the Storm, short pass, only 10 metres forward. Gill tried to offer some support. Runs up to the contest, but they step over the line. Also, Barron's getting involved for the Storm. We'll have a ball up across half forward. It is Gisborne in attack. They lead 35-21. 23 minutes gone. Second term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Throw in, true centre wing position, grandstand side. Blake won it down. Oh, big contest at the footy. Lakey was hard at it. He then won it forward to Clossy, who will
Nice
receive
dive,
a free
Clossy.
kick because he was fallen into the back. So free kick, Clossy.
Professional free kick there.
Certainly
Nice craft.
went forward, but there was contact in the back. So Clossy will wheel the ball on the right. It'll swirl in the breeze. It goes all the way. It goes left before it goes right.
Brad Manaki's marked that too.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Benaki was certainly looked like he had that mark, but the umpire crosses his arms and says no. We'll have another ball up almost where the last boundary throw in took place, Johnny.
Second term sponsored by Rural and Outdoors in Castlemaine in this qualifying final in the Bendigo Football Netball League. Good contest, 35 playing 21. The Dogs lead, and we'll have another stoppage. Pretty much on centre wing. Broadcast side, grandstand side. Sun is shining here at the QEO. It's windy. That's the only tough part about it. As the ball goes forward, marginally for the Storm. Benaki gets on the end of a handball. He kicks it forward. He kicked it in the direction of Trotter. Trotter couldn't take it, and it's a free kick.
Sucked in too, umpire. God.
They playing advantage, are they? They're going to bring it back. What happened, Don Moran?
Oh, another fake. Sorry. Knee drop. Sorry, John. I'm not a fan of the knee drop.
So the knee drop, it'll go.
Especially when it rewards in a free kick.
The free kick will go to the Storm. The offending player was Trotter. The man that gets the free kick is Darcy Mulquinny. He's on left half back for the Storm. Kicking to the Barnard Street end. Kicks it down the broadcast side wing. Ernst was his target. Lets it bounce. Hurried kick out of the pack for the Dogs. Comes now to half forward again. Picked up nicely. It'll be Trotter. Trotter will go inside forward 50. Bell Bartels one-on-one. Blanford heads goalward. He might be pinged for that. It's goalward. Boundary line I meant there, Cam.
Well, he was looking for a try.
He was looking for a try, you're right, and probably lucky to get away with it, I reckon. 35 from home. Gisborne in attack 35. They lead to 21.
Yeah, I reckon if we might have been playing in the big Melbourne leagues, it might have been called, but not in Bendigo footy. Blanford getting away with it, definitely. Dennehy went in the ruck. It's stolen. Flying shot out of the pack for a goal. It's going to go right to the line from Brad Benaki. And he puts through a minor score. That would have been some sort of goal from there. Hard to top Shane Clough's opening goal, quarter for goal of the day, but that would have been a contender if he put that through. 5-6-36, the Dogs, 2-9-21, the Storm, as we approach half-time.
Ethan Featherby kicks it into Harvey in the back pocket. Right in front of the scoreboard, 36 playing 21. Gisborne lead. Harvey plays on for the Storm. Sends it beyond 50. It holds up in the breeze. Good strong mark that's taken by Jones on half-back.
Jones wastes no time playing on, but it's straight to a pack of 3 Dogs. And as a result, the free kick had to be given because it was Zach Charles who pushed his opponent directly underneath the footy. And it will be a free kick to Jack Reaper. Reaper just reaps a high ball towards centre half forward. Jones goes up, couldn't take it, spills off hands. Now they'll get it to Clossy. Clossy's handball spell out the back. Now the Gisborne Bulldogs look to play their turnover game and quickly get it moving. Flying shot from Dylan Johnson will go right to the line and he'll get the goal. 3 goals now for Dylan Johnson. He's got another. Gee, he's so crafty inside forward 50. And Gisborne increase their lead. They're taking full advantage with this wind. They have now got 6-6-42. They've kicked 5 in the quarter to the Storm, 2-9-21, who haven't scored a goal in this quarter. That is 27 gone. It is Parsons Towing Castlemaine, our scoreboard sponsor.
Yeah, that's reward for effort then. We saw 3 goes at the ball by Johnson then and a lovely kick forward in the end. We sold it in a goal.
Restart in the middle. They'll win it out of the middle again, the Dogs. What can they do with it? Can they get another one on the board? McKenna gets on the end of one and takes a chest mark. 35 out directly in front, and they are on fire, the Dogs.
Danger signs here.
Danger signs. Well, I said it was a 7-goal win, and they've kicked 5, so they're on target, John. There's only a couple of minutes to go for this quarter, but they're on target to make it true 7-goal quarter. Brett, who we got? Paddy McKenna.
Pat McKenna, please kick it straight. Don't worry about the breeze. Don't worry about the wind. Just kick it over the goal umpire's hat and let God decide if you believe in such a thing. Paddy McKenna kicks it straight through the middle. Well, he made it work. It just snuck through, I reckon. But it doesn't matter. It's another one there for the Dogs. So they increase the lead. That is their second. Scoreboard sponsor, Daily Bricklaying and Construction. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. 28 minutes gone. Second term. Gisborne 7-6-48 to the Storm 2-9-21.
28-minute mark of the second quarter. I think opposition sides need to probably go back and have a look at that centre clearance setup, the way Braden Blake hit Brad Benacki, and then that forward entry to an absolute key in Pat McKenna.
They've tried to do it a few times today, that set play, Don, and that time it really came off. So Blake wins it down again. No one charging through this time, and tackling was made. Eventually, umpire lets him play. Sheehan quickly sends it inside forward 50. Marcus taken on a hard lead out for the Storm. And it's taken there by Jai Chambers, who will go back 45 metres out from goal, directly in front, but against this breeze, it probably feels more like 60 metres. He goes on the right, chips it into the pocket, and he just misses his intended target, Matt Harvey, and he misses him by a fair way as well. It carries over his head and bounces out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Right-hand forward pocket, Barnard Street, end of the ground. That is the end of the ground which the Strathfieldsaye Storm are attacking to in this quarter. They haven't been successful yet.
You just feel like the Storm need one to settle. Ernst, a big punch from behind, but he hit it straight to the opposition in Burke. Burke of the Dogs. He'll send it beyond 50, but he's kicked it 3 rows back. And they'll have a free kick here, 70 from home, so they've still got a chance. Don, and what are you pointing at?
No, as you said, the 29-minute mark and almost to the 30-minute mark of this quarter.
Well, the first quarter went 32, so there could be a couple of minutes yet left.
So Shannon Geary is the man with the ball for the Storm. There's a whistle. There's a bit going on off the ball, I think. It's going to be a free kick downfield.
Holding at the top of the 50 against Macklin Lord, I think. She's on him today, aren't I?
You are. Yeah. Did he upset you something?
No.
Daniel Clossey's got the footy for the Storm. He crosses paint marker 50. You'd think he's too far out from home. They need to kill it here, the Dogs, because you can hear the siren sound. It won't be a score. Blake got a fist on it and punched it forward. So no change. It sees Gisborne at half-time in this qualifying final. It went 30 minutes there, Norm. 7-6-48, the Dogs. The Storm, 2-9-21.
Well, it's on in the forward pocket, John. You turned off a little bit, and it's all happening here as the benches get cleared to get involved in this one.
Just boys being boys, Cameron.
Yeah, nothing major going on, just a little bit of push and shove. But the quarter score is something I want to point out in that quarter. It was Gisborne. They added 40 points in total to just the 2 minor scores to the Storm. That is a huge advantage. And what did you say, 7-goal advantage to that end? So
I did. That was my pre-match.
Well, you've fallen 2 points short.
It's pretty close though, isn't it?
46-point quarter in favour of the Gisborne Bulldogs. And it is a big lead they've put in here. 48 playing 21.
Half-time in the Heathcote District Football Netball League. Thanks to Wayne Smith out there bringing us all the scores as he has done all season. Half-time, Leachville, Gunbower, 6-7-43.
Forward entries from Strath, putting the defence of Gisborne under pressure.
Just about to get the second half underway in the qualifying final of 2024. Footy Fresh is Bendigo Football Live. Here's Cam Power.
So the second half underway. Ernst will try and win the clearance as he won the first clearance of the day. He gets the first of the second half. It spills forward to Matt Harvey. He couldn't take it but was taken in a strong tackle. Umpire letting the ball play off hands and they dive on top of it and we'll have a ball up.
Yes, that's the one thing I've noticed today. The umpires let the players try and get the ball out. They haven't stopped it immediately.
So Gisborne win the ball out. Handballing their way out of trouble. Eventually it spills out to Merritt. Merritt's kick up towards forward 50. No mark taken. And the boundary umpire will grab the footy and take hold of it and throw it back into play. Just inside, just outside forward 50 for the Gisborne Bulldogs who are heading towards the Bendigo City end of the ground.
So
I should say the Barnard Street end of the
So
game.
the umpire will throw it in. It'll be Blake, who's done a big job this afternoon, only halfway through this game. Harvey emerges with the footy for the Storm, puts it to the swimming pool wing. It's a poor kick. Benaki intercepts over the Dogs. Handball forward. And Macklin Law gets collared again. It's not Don picking on him this time, it's me. As the ball comes into the corridor. One-on-one contest. Storm through Gill. Little handball to the back door to Geary. Geary goes to the back door to Clossy. Clossy goes long inside forward 50. Blanford runs onto the footy. He's 40 from home and will slam it through. A goal that came from nowhere for the Storm and inches them back into this game. Scoreboard sponsor Don Smallgood is Don is good. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. So that'll take the Storm to 3-9-27. They are trailing the Dogs 7-6-48. 2 minutes gone, third term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
He kicked a similar goal to Seb Bell Bartel, didn't he? Set out the back when that high ball came in. Wynn carried it across out the back, and he was standing alone, and he finished it off beautifully.
Back in the middle we go. The Storm will clear the ball out of defence. Up towards centre half forward, but it's all Gisborne back there. Clear and kick out from Frankie Shapano. Shapano's kick in the middle of the ground. Ernst got up high, couldn't take the mark. Spills to ground. Benaki was on the end of the handball for the Dogs. Then he handballed it out wide. It's with Matty Merritt. Merritt's handball further forward. And eventually Gisborne, they're just working themselves out of all sorts of pressure on that far wing, and they find a short pass. The pass finds its way to Johnson. So Dylan Johnson's got it. He's true centre wing position. Pull side of the QEO. He'll come back inboard on the left. He'll send it in the McKenna direction. He needs someone to fly. And a mark has been taken. A good mark by Dennehy. And Dennehy takes the mark. He's 25 metres out. Probably more like 35 metres out. Just inside, 10 metres from the boundary. Right-hand forward pocket. Pull side. It would take a good effort to kick this one from here. Shooting towards the Barnard Street end of the ground. He comes in on the right against the breeze. It looks good. It slams into the post. At the last possible second, Zach Dennehy and Gisborne get their first score of the second half. A minor. They're 7-7-49. The Storm are 3-9-27.
So it's a long kick in from fullback. The Storm will bring it to the broadcast side wing. Running shotgun there. Zach Dennehy getting on the end of it. Now we put it shallow inside forward 50. They'll set themselves. McKenna with a fist from behind. Zeb Balbartels swooped on the footy. And I don't know if he had a lot of time there, but the umpire didn't agree and said it's incorrect disposal. And the free kick will go to Jackson Lay. JD Jackson Lay of the Storm. He'll spread it wide.
Yeah, he clears it out wide, but it's turned over. Gisborne quickly send it back inside. McKenna, he fended off the tackle, but then he went without the footy. He got it back. Pat McKenna's into all sorts of pressure. Turnover, Lockie Gill. His kick was smothered, flying through Mulquinny. He couldn't take it, still lurking around. It's just a bit of chaos ball inside that forward pocket, and eventually a free kick's going to be pinned for holding the ball. You can hear what the crowd thought of it. And it is predominantly Strathfieldsaye supporters down there, because that's going to who receives the free kick. It's going to be Lachlan Gill.
So,
Yeah,
Gill.
Good impressions for Gisborne so far in this third quarter. They're keeping the ball low when they go forward.
Gill played on from his free kick. He sends it to the outer side wing, looking for Ernst, but it's too severe for him. And it tumbles over the line and will have a ball in right in front of the swimming pool.
Yeah, two talls there. You want to give him a chance to get somewhere near it, but that kick missed by a long way, didn't it? That wind carried it to the boundary throw in.
Umpire will throw it in. Ernst versus Blake. Blake uses his body, but Ernst won it, but he tapped it straight down the throat of a Dogs player in Benaki. Benaki goes shallow inside forward 50 to the Barnard Street end. We're camped on half forward. Ratcliffe dives in after the footy. Clossy offers support. Somehow Luxmore emerges with the ball with the Dogs. He kicks it inside forward 50. That's a mark. The umpire hasn't paid it, I don't think. He must have said it was
Called touched off the boot.
touched off the boot. The man that marked the footy was Trotter. 30 metres in front, it's going to be a ball up.
Yeah, the umpire was signalling to say it was touched as the kick come off the boot, so stood by his decision. Out of there, the Storm will try and clear, but they're unable to do so. It's very scrappy, and it's just a lot of contest-based footy at the moment, Don Moran.
Yeah, and both teams seem to having a crack, which is what we want to see today.
So Dennehy and Ratcliffe in the ruck. Ratcliffe knocked it back. Benaki dived on it. Ratcliffe dived on top of him, and we'll have another ball up. So just inside defence still. Barnard Street into the ground. Left-hand side of your radio dial. Blake going through trying to do his own Bit of clearance work there. Sheehan's kick was smothered, spills out to Gill. Then Gill gets it off to Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey will come down the grandstand side wing. It'll be Blandford who takes the mark. He plays on and accelerates. Good bit of play there. Sends it in the Jones direction. And Jones marks it 5 metres in from the boundary. Right-hand forward pocket. He wastes no time. He'll snap it on the left. Cooper Jones slots the goal on his left. Snapping ball around the body. 2 in a row, Storm. And they are coming in this third quarter. They're using the breeze a little bit better. Brilliant finish, Cooper Jones. And the Strathfieldsaye Storm moved to 4-9-33. Gisborne 7-7-49. 6.5 played in the third quarter. Score sponsor, Parsons Towings, Castlemaine.
Yeah, and unlike the first quarter, they're now attacking from the grandstand side of the ground and letting the breeze carry the ball through the goals. That was an effortless kick then by Jones, and just put the ball up, let the wind do its work.
Restart in the middle. Blake wins the tap, puts it down the throat. Benaki running hard, handball forward. Tries to find a teammate in Johnson. Couldn't. The ball moves itself to shallow inside forward 50. Here the Storm come. It's a rebounding ball. Series of handballs. Ratcliffe on the end of it. Poor kick. Kicked it straight to Benaki, the Dogs, and he'll send them forward again.
So Benaki's got a short pass over the top to Dylan Johnson, who plays on as he marks. He's got 3. He'll send it inside forward 50, and a big mark taken. Flying in from the side and taking the mark, Paddy McKenna. He floated in from the side and took it right above his head. And Pat McKenna will go back for goal number 3 from 15 metres out, right in line with that left-hand goalpost at the Barnard Street end of the ground. He shouldn't have any worries putting through his third goal, and this will be a big blow to Strath, who were just starting to get some momentum.
Yes, that was good work by McKenna then. He dropped in front of the pack, and he was in prime position for the ball dropping short.
Experienced player, Paddy McKenna on the right, and he starts at left. It stays left. And he's now got 2 goals, 3 on the day. He'll be disappointed not to have put that one through, as the lead now out to 17 points, 50 playing 33. 8.5 gone third quarter. Score sponsor, Rule and Outdoors, Castlemaine.
Shannon Geary played on from full back, and he's kicked it into the centre of the QEO. Good strong mark from behind, Jones. Coming into the game for the Storm. Defensive side of the centre circle. He'll spread it to right half forward. They'll set themselves. Ernst with a fist in there. Bode Stevens runs onto the footy. Slips over at an unopportune time. They dive on top of him, and halfway between the centre and half forward. In fact, it's a free kick. It'll be holding the ball to Lakey. Probably pretty lucky to get away with it, I reckon.
No, that's fair enough, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah. It was a good tackle. He dragged it back in, and then the second tackle followed up. So I'm with the umpire on that one, John.
Pair of 7s go at it as Flynn Lakey, the 7 for the Dogs, was the tackler. He then sends the kick out wide, finds a teammate on the pull side wing. Short pass inboard to James Gray. Gray plays on quickly, sends a spearing ball inside forward 50. Carries to the back of the pack. It works out to Dylan Johnson. Johnson snaps the goal on his left and bounces it through. Dylan Johnson's got 4, and Gisborne increased their lead. 8-8-56. The Storm 4-9-33. Score sponsor, Parsons Towings, Castlemaine.
Gee, he knows how to finish, doesn't he? He gets to the right spot, like that front and centre effort from that chaotic ball that was kicked into Gisborne's forward line. What a finish, and he's now got 4 now, Norm.
Yep, always the opportunist, and he certainly he knows how to work a pack, and when he gets it, he doesn't panic. He just made sure that ball dribbled along the ground, through the goals, kept it low so the wind wouldn't take advantage.
Back here in the middle at the QEO. Up they'll go in the ruck. Dennehy doing the ruck work on this occasion for the Dogs. Ratcliffe tries to mop off half back. Emerging for the footy with the Dogs was Trotter, and he incorrectly disposed of the footy. And the free kick will go to Daniel Clossy on right half back for the Storm.
So Clossy will quickly bring the kick down the grandstand side wing, sets it up for the advantage at King. He couldn't complete the contest. And then Johnson took it, handballed off to Darcy Young, back to Johnson, who was bumped hard across the boundary line. Hard but fair. And we'll get a boundary throw in right in front of the Strathfieldsaye coach's box. We'll throw it in.
Would have liked to have seen Stevens tackle then rather than bump.
Yeah,
Would you agree?
Probably not something you do encourage players to bump like that in nowadays footy, but especially if he goes any higher and gets the head, he could find himself in big trouble. But not to be, as the ball works aggressively forward for the Storm. But we'll find another ball up in the true centre wing
Strath
position.
trying to stretch Gisborne here. They've got Jones forward. and Ernst deep forward.
Leicester won it down. Wilson handballed through legs to Sheehan, and then Leicester he might have threw that one out of there, but it worked out to Matt Harvey. Harvey sends it inside forward 50. No mark taken, spear, and Gisborne will take it over the boundary line through Dennehy. And I think he was more than happy to say the umpire did call that one because he was about to get done holding the ball, but he clearly went over the boundary line. We'll get it thrown in right on the pane of 50 at the Bendigo City end of the ground, which is where the Strathfieldsaye Storm are attacking in this third quarter.
That was young Jed Dennehy, and he's got a big job on Jones, who Don mentioned has gone deep forward. As the ball is thrown in, contest forms ground level. Stoppage, ball up.
Yeah, well, he's played the first half down back, John, so not a bad swing, and he's had impact so far.
70 from home now. Storm in attack. Harvey, he got the ball from the throw-in, kicked it to space. Spear ran on it for the Dogs. Didn't really look, put it around the left. On Dennehy, that's Zach Dennehy. Good, strong contested mark. He goes sideways. Little handball to Gray. Gray now will go down the line. 1-on-1. Ratcliffe's got the front position. Also in the contest is Luxmore. Luxmore wins it for the Dogs. Shovels the footy out. Who's going to emerge? It's a great contest here in this qualifying final of the Bendigo Football Netball League. Little ball over the top. Goes to Merritt. Merritt of the Dogs goes goalward. And McKenna running with the fly to the ball. Fingertipper. Minor score. Gee. 57 playing 33. Dogs lead 12.5 gone third term.
Yeah, that looked like it was just almost going to shape back for a brilliant call there, Johnny, as Shannon Geary will bring the ball back into play. He just sends a 70-metre ball down the far wing, but it's all Gisborne back there. Jones comes to lend a hand to make the contest, and, well, he's going to receive a stoppage for all his hard work. Ball up.
So that's the second time we've seen Geary go to Jones on a kick-in.
So ball up. Leicester doing the ruck work for the Storm, but it's taken away by the opposite 11 in Clough. Clough sends it inside forward 50. Bell Bartell's trying to get some separation, but Shannon Murphy read it well and knocked it over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. Right hand forward pocket. Poolside change rooms there at the QEO. Bendigo City is the opposite end of the ground. We're at the Barnard Street end. It's the Gisborne Bulldogs by 24 points.
So the umpire will throw it in. It's the Dogs that are under attack. Holds up in the breeze. Leicester grabbed the ball out of the pack. Probably incorrect disposal. Umpire let it go there by Sheen of the Storm. Hurried kick now from defensive 50, but it goes straight to Dennehy. Now this is Zach Dennehy. He'll go long, send it back inside forward 50 to the hot spot. McKenna on a lead. He got a fair chunk of it, but couldn't quite capitalise in the end. Now the Storm will work it off half back. Clossy goes to his knees. Hurry kick Malquini. He gets upended. Turnover now. Dogs will come again through Burke. Leads going everywhere into the forward pocket. Trotter was one of them. Ignored. Hurried kick out of the back line by the Storm, and it might have gone out of bounds on the full. And the Dogs are going to get another look at it, and they'll send it back inside forward 50 with a free kick.
Strathfieldsaye play here. Featherby coming to the ground. He looks in all sorts of discomfort, Don Moran.
It looks like either a finger or a wrist.
Yeah.
Definitely a hand injury.
Like
or a shoulder. You know how you hold it like that, Don?
Now, that looks more like an arm or a lower hand injury to me, the way he's holding that.
I bet you it's a shoulder.
It's not looking flash, is it? You might be right, John.
It is a shoulder.
Those big shoulders are yours.
Yeah, that's the way he's holding it. And he's got his shoulder strapped.
And there's a big lump on the other shoulder.
Oh, yeah, that's the dislocated shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, as he gets close to the bench, you can clearly see that's not meant to be looking like that.
Big body Pat McKenna, great mark in the square.
Gisborne cleared the ball out of the contest while we're watching the injury, and McKenna takes the mark in the goal square, and he'll go back and kick goal number 3.
Oh, that makes my
it'll
sore
take all of his
look
30
like nothing,
seconds.
You called it all early.
So McKenna's going to take his full 30 from the goal square. I've already written it down, so he can't miss from there, and he doesn't. So 9-9-63, playing 4-9-33. It's a 30-point margin. The Dogs have kicked a couple of goals against the Breeze and are really starting to make a statement on this game. Score sponsor, JB Reese Dumping.
And Gisborne have got the benefit now of being able to send Blake forward because Zach Dennehy's been doing his job, been doing the ruck work for the most of this quarter and been doing his job. He had two goes in that forward passage of play there while we were looking at that injury.
Back in the middle, Leicester doing the ruck work now for the Storm. Lakey tries to make a path for the Dogs. Leicester, though, gives it by hand to Stevens. The Storm will go forward. Just overrunning the footy there. Couldn't quite get on it was Charles. Ball spills to Reaper. Reaper by hand to Spear. Spear around the body. Lets it bounce towards Benaki. Benaki can't quite pick it up underneath the scoreboard. Umpire letting it go. And it'll end up being a ball in. This third term sponsored by Rural Outdoors Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. 30-point margin. Dogs lead midway through this third term.
Throw in. Dennehy going up in the ruck. One down for Ernst of Storm. Paddling your ball forward, Sheehan. And they'll take it over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. Almost back where we started that last call from.
Yeah, there's not a lot of metres gained there, was there? It's back where we started.
So 5-goal lead to Gisborne. And they have been good this quarter. They've kicked 2 goals against the Breeze. The Storm have only kicked 2 goals themselves. So we're back at where we sat at 3-quarter time. Gordon has to get involved in the game for Strath. He's hard up against the boundary. Here goes the banana, Malik Gordon. That'll be something to fire up your teammates. A banana from the boundary. 15 out, and the goal goes through. And the Storm, well, they get themselves back to a 4-goal margin. And it is now Strathfieldsaye 5-9-39, Gisborne 9-9-63. 18 minutes gone in the third quarter. Score sponsor, Daily Bricklaying and Construction.
Yeah, and Strath had to make the most of that because Gordon went to the contest, whereas Reaper stayed back, the loose man in defence, and Gordon, he was up to the task and got one on the board for Strath.
Back in the middle. Caleb Ernst jumped high, jumped early, won the tap, but he put it down the throat of Benaki. Well read. Benaki, brilliant. He goes inside forward 50, looking for Zach Dennehy. Couldn't quite find him. Off hands. Bell Bartels. He receives a handball. To the back door. They're lining up here, Dogs. Inside forward 50, they'll go through Lakey. Hurry kick by Clossy. Out of the defensive zone. Up the chimney to Blake. Blake on half back. Forward should have marked a ball that he dropped. He give it by hand. That was to McKenna. McKenna got to the pocket. In fact, it was McKenna on the end of it. Yeah, and we'll have a ball in. James Gray. They're looking like the way they're moving there, Cam. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. 18 minutes gone, third term.
I know it's not a great word, but that was a bully act, wasn't it, from Braden Blake?
Oh, well, yes, it was straight through the pack.
You bully.
Ratcliffe goes up in the ruck for the Storm. Geary got to the back. Tried to get it to Clossy, but there's a lot of players around this one. Storm content to try and hold it up as Bell Bartels tries to rip it out of there, and he does, but the umpire crossed his arms before he did so. We'll try again. For a little fella, he's a very strong man, Seb Bell Bartels. Knocked forward for Gisborne. Might have gone without the footy, though. In the end there was Burke. Umpire's pulled a whistle, and it's a free kick going the way of the Storm.
The incorrect disposal, the umpire said.
Disposal. Free kick, Strathfieldsaye across half-back. It is with Jackson Lay.
Jackson Lay being his surname, not Jackson Lay. As the ball goes to Charles. Charles has been quiet this afternoon and dropped a mark he probably should have taken. He dived on the top. I see you putting your hands in the air. It should have been a probably Bulldogs kick then, I reckon, to Benaki, Don.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Umpire will throw it up. Blake doing the ruck work. Punches it to Harvey. Harvey of the Storm. Turnover. He probably causes a turnover as well. Every contest is a contest. Does that make sense? And it'll be Benaki. He'll come to the back door. Gives it by hand. Johnson, being good this afternoon. Goes inside forward 50. 35 from home.
That's
Dogs to the Barnard Street end. On top of him. And it's going to be a stoppage. Ball up. Directly in front. 35 out from home. 63 playing 39. 20 gone. Third term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Ball up. Knocked down. Trying to find a way through there for Gisborne will be Burke. Paddles it to his advantage for handballing it backwards. Now it comes to Lakey. Lakey's quick kick was smothered. And the Storm might emerge with it through Gill. Gill's handball upwards. Ernst. Free kick must be downfield to Gill, who might have been dealt with afterwards. The Storm probably away.
Free kick will go back.
Yeah, maybe. I reckon they might have been better off with the advantage there, but it's going to come back to Gill. So then Gill's going to chip it short to Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey's got some space to get and go. He does. On the right. Grandstand side wing. Shannon Geary got in front. Big punch from behind came from Johnson, and Johnson picked it up. Handball forward. Lester goes in there for the Storm. I can't see the footy in front of the bench there in front of us, but Wilson eventually emerged with it. Fends off the tackle. A little bit too high, and not the fend. It was the free kick for the tackle, so Riley Wilson will send it back inside forward 50 for the Strathfieldsaye Storm.
Wilson, a little bit quiet this afternoon. Johnny Norton, the umpire, getting involved on that occasion. Kick, short pass forward, 25, almost 30 metres. Hits Jai Chambers.
And 50.
50 metres. What was it for, Norm?
I moved on the mark. The umpire said stand. The player thought that
Darcy Young?
Darcy Young thought he was going to play on, so he made 2 steps forward.
I know the rule's there, but it's a heavy penalty, isn't it, from there? It's
a little bit. It was quite smart though. He said stand, and the Jai Chambers realised that he wasn't, but he pointed to him. Got the attention of the umpire, and now he's the one that's got the reward here.
He was right on the 50 when that free kick was paid, and they've taken him to the top of the goal square. Shouldn't it be a bit further in?
Should kick it anyway.
Another
50.
one.
2 in a
Kick
row.
it now.
So he'll be standing under the poppet head now if he is true to his form.
What was that one for?
Must have been back chat.
Bit of descent, I reckon, going on there. Pumps it through, Jai Chambers. He gets a goal, so he keeps the Storm alive in this qualifying final. Score sponsor, JB Re-Stumping, where local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. The score now goes to the Storm, 6-9-45. Trailing the Dogs, 9-9-63. 22 gone. Third term, local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, Storm have got to keep this pressure up now for the next 10 or so minutes and put another 4 or 5 on the board because they need a good break at three-quarter time to be in this game in the final quarter.
Yeah, that breeze starting to pick up again. Looking at those trees right in front of the netball court on the far side of the ground, Norm, they're blowing a gale over there.
Yes, we worry about the boys out there kicking. I've pity the poor girls having to shoot goals on the netball court today.
Back in the middle we go. Back to a 3-goal game, which is manageable for Strath. Good enough, close enough if good enough. Blake wins it down, straight to Benaki. That's been a set player all day. In fact, it was Lakey that sends it inside forward 50 this time. Free kick, Gisborne, McKenna. The advantage will be taken and run in on open goal. No, decided not to do it.
Umpire had called time off.
So Paddy McKenna will be 40 metres out directly in front. He's got 3 goals, 3. So that would say he's a 50-50 chance of kicking this one.
Good maths, Cam.
40 metres out directly in front of goal. Pat McKenna, 57 goals in total this year. Will come in on the right. And he stabs at it through the left. And well, that is not his finest kick for goal directly in front. Really looked like he put a little bit too much effort into it. 9-10-64. It was to the left-hand side. The Storm 6-9-45. A let-off.
Would have been a nice steadier though, wouldn't it? Against the Tide.
I think you make a good point. He tried to kick it too hard. As Shannon Geary for the Storm plays on from fullback, brings it broadcast side, kicks it straight to the opposition. Straight to Braden Blake, who's having a blinder anyway. So just give him another one. So Blake too far from home to score. He's left on the pocket. That's a poor kick. Causes a turnover, I reckon. At the very least, it's going to be a stoppage. And on left half forward, Dogs in attack, and Braden Blake's punching himself. Literally, he is. He's punching his thighs as he realised he erred, as it'll be another ball up.
So while he erred, he then went into the ruck and beat Caleb Ernst in the contest. Spills out. Flying shot on goal will come from Matty Merritt. And Matt Merritt, he used the breeze to perfection on the left. And it swings back through. And Gisborne reopened that 4-goal buffer again. And they are starting to get a very strong grip on this game. The Storm have got it all to do. 10-10-70 the Dogs, 6-9-45 the Storm. 25 gone third quarter. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers.
It's nice having a ruckman that can put your players into a little bit of space. Today it's been contested all day, but as soon as you get up and you get a stoppage in front in that forward 50 and then create some space, well, that tap from Braden Blake to Merritt. Just mention Merritt on the left. John, your favourite side?
Always with the favourite side, Don. As it's ball up. Now it's a contest. Gordon's in the middle. A 60-metre ball, inside forward 50. Jones at the target. Sat at the back of the pack cleverly. Didn't get it on that occasion. Round the body, a shot at goal. And that might have been Charles. It is. He was under immense pressure. He had somebody up his hammer. And he just keeps it alive. Takes the score to 7-9-51. to 10-10-70. In time on in this third term, score sponsor, Rural and Outdoors Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yeah, Strath have been able to cut this margin by a couple of goals this quarter, but for me, it's nowhere near enough as we've probably got 4 or 5 minutes to go. They need to be ahead at three-quarter time or Gisborne will take full advantage of the wind in the last quarter.
Over at Princess Park, it is Lexton with a big goal, 7-6-48, leading Denali 4-8-22, 18 minutes gone in the third quarter. Big final quarter to come there from Princess Park. Back in the middle here, we'll have a secondary ball up. So it will be Ernst going up against Dennehy. Dennehy tried to get a run up at it. Didn't quite get to the footy. Spills off hands. Eventually it works to Clossy. Clossy bangs it inside forward 50. Wilson sits underneath it, but Spear comes in from the side and takes a terrific grab. All eyes for the footy, Liam Spear. And he's able to then get back up and quickly chip it out towards Shane Clough.
Clough, inboard. It's safe, effective. 30-metre kick to your favourite player, Don, Macklin Lord.
He's hit one, John.
He has, and he goes corridor. It was dangerous to Vescovi,
Wasn't 15,
who's
though.
been quiet. Spreads it to the outer side, to Gray. Gray of the Dogs to the wing swimming pool side. It will be a turnover here. Gill, he socked the ball awkward, and then he got on the way through. He hit Gray. Umpire said play on. Slinging tackle outer side. Still allowed to go on. It goes boundary side. And across half forward, Dogs in attack to the Barnard Street end. Swimming pool side, it will be a ball in.
Who was that, John? I think he won the free kick and didn't realise and then played on.
Yeah, Gray. But he just kept running.
Such a shame.
Throw in. Far wing. Ernst took it out of the ruck. Handballed off. Sent forward by Sheehan. It going about 60 metres. It carries over the back of where everyone was sitting for Spear. Then Spear just thumps it forward over the back of his head. It'll be taken by Dennehy. Handball over the top. That was Jed. Turnover. Storm emerge with it. Now they can run it inside forward 50. It'll be a shot that'll go right to the line, but getting back. Couldn't quite take the mark, though. Handballing it to Spear. That came from Reaper, the captain. And then Spear's shorts kick under the scoreboard finds its way into the hands of another Gisborne player who was just content to run the clock down, Frankie Shapano. High ball out of defence when the umpire tells him to go. And getting to the front of the pack, Brad Benacki had no right to mark that one, but that's exactly what he does.
Benacki on his defensive arc, looking to bring it down the swimming pool wing to the Barnard Street end. They'll set themselves. Ernst front position. Good, strong contested mark in front. Ernst now at the Storm. Little handball, a little give. A long kick inside forward 50 again. Charles front position. Can't quite get it. He's 40
Got
from
a free.
home. Free kick. It'll go the
Charles.
way of the Storm. And what was that for, Norm?
He was held when not in possession.
So Charles with the footy. 45-degree angle. Benacki stands the mark at 38.64 metres. I'll round it up to 39. Important kick. It's a 19-point margin. I'll do the funny stuff, Norm. Charles for the Storm. Oh, he stumbled a bit as he come in. An indication he's not confident, but he should be. He should be. It spun perfectly for his second goal and just brings the Storm a little bit closer. That will be 7-9-51 to 10-10-70 the Dogs. 29 goals.
Now.
Sorry, 57. No, 8-9-57.
Add an extra goal on.
Add an extra one onto that. So it is close to 10-10-70. Scoreboard sponsored Parsons Towing and Castlemaine, where local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Don Moran.
Yeah, it was a bit of a start, but geez, he struck that beautifully and ended up kicking that from outside 50. It's his second for the quarter.
It feels like the Gisborne Bulldogs are on top, but it's only 13 points on the scoreboard, and the Storm are starting to believe. Sheehan handballs the ball off. They send it up towards centre half forward. If it bounces nicely for the Storm, they'll be away, but it doesn't. Gisborne will clear the kick out wide. Chasing hard after it for Strathfieldsaye will be Jai Chambers. And Jai Chambers is in a race against Dylan Johnstone, and neither one of them will have bragging rights because the ball bounces out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Right in front of us here in our broadcast position. 13-point lead to the Dogs. Ernst going into the ruck for the Storm. Dennehy going in for Gisborne. The ball went straight to Ernst, who was then able to handball to Sheehan. Sheehan then sent it up towards centre half forward. Mark not taken. Some appeals for being held by Berens. Didn't get it. Gisborne work it out to Clough. Clough gets it on the far wing. Now they're away through Vescovi.
Vescovi, one bounce on the wing. He looks inboard to come corridor. It's a poor kick. He might cause a turnover here. Storm, can they make and capitalise on it? But picked up very well by Luxmore of the Dogs. He goes to half forward. Merritt also getting involved. They'll emerge now. The Dogs will go goalward.
It's Johnson.
A shot at it with Johnson and
again.
he's put it through on the left.
That's 5.
The Dogs through Johnson, and isn't he having an influence up forward? Scoreboard sponsor, Bendigo City Framers. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. The score goes to Dogs 11-10-76. The Storm 8-9-57. 31 minutes gone. Third term.
Didn't you say he kicked 5 last time? You
Yeah,
had a watch, Cam?
Well, last time we called him against Gisborne, he kicked 5 on that particular day, and we interviewed him after the game, and he said that he just rocked up on Gisborne's door and went in there and said, I want to play for you as I'm in the area.
He played
And
for
he has
Macedon
been
or
an
someone.
absolute pickup.
Yeah.
Other clubs around the league are thinking, why can't we have players like that just rock up at our front door?
And for just noting, though, he's playing on a wing,
Oh,
on the QEO.
And he did the same thing.
That's right.
He did the same thing that day on Wade Street as well. He played on the wing, went forward for 5. He was our Bendigo City Framers Best on Ground Sponsors Award that day. And while he is looking at a Best on Ground potentially again today, a big quarter from the Dogs and a late goal that really makes it hard for the Storm. 11-10-76 Gisborne, 8-9-57 Strathfieldsaye. But stick around because it is not over until it's over here at the QEO. It's Gisborne and Strathfieldsaye in the qualifying final. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Footy League as well. It is Morong 4-8-32, Pyramid Hill 6-4-40. And 3/4 time at Heathcote Footy League, Leachville Gumbower 9-9-63, North Bendigo 8-12-60. So 2 close games going on, and it is Birchip Watcham 10-8-68 to Sea Lake, Nandaly 6-8-44 in the North Central. Here's the final quarter from the QEO. Getting you underway is John Hunter.
Blake won the tap again. Let's see what the Dogs can do from the centre of the ground. It's a turnover. Harvey intercepted a handball from the Storm. Now he'll go shallow inside forward 50. Jones takes a nice strong contested mark. Too far from home. He'll put it into the pocket. Oh, big fly from behind by Wilson. Couldn't quite get it. It'll be a turnover for the Dogs, and the ball comes back the other way to the outer side wing.
Yeah, and it bounces in the middle of the ground, which is where Gisborne received. Inside forward 50. Pat McKenna comes leading out and marks it as he dives inside 50. And Mitch Hallinan has to stand his ground. There's not much more that Mitch Hallinan could have done as a backman there, as Pat McKenna come charging out and got it on the dive, Don Moran.
I didn't see who delivered that, Cam, but be very, very happy if you're Paddy McKenna. Gave him plenty of opportunity to lead up at the ball. Kick to grass, kick to advantage, and now we've got Paddy McKenna lining up. He's probably had about 5 or 6 set shots, Cam, I think, off the top of my head.
Well, he points at that one as he kicks it, and he's kicked true. So he's got 4-4, and the Gisborne Bulldogs have got 12-10. They're 12-10-82. And they have got a nice little lead on this game against the Strathfieldsaye Storm here at the QEO, who are 8-9-57. Score sponsor, JB Restumping, and that's exactly what the Storm did not want to start the final term.
Yes, it was good rebound football by Gisborne there. Came through the centre of the ground, and it was a lovely pass to McKenna. He got out on the lead, and there's nothing a defender can do once a forward gets in front and shields the ball.
Braden Blake stretching in the middle there, Don, so keep your eye on him. He's just done a power of work, so he might be a bit tired. As Harvey emerges with the footy for the Storm, they'll get the clearance. Stevens, good handballing movement of the footy by the Storm as it goes inside forward 50 now. To the back of the pack, Spear defensively. He goes on hands and knees and then taps it in the direction of his teammate in grey. Can't quite win it as the ball is on the outer side, and it will be the Dogs who take possession. Short pass forward. They've got numbers here, the Dogs. They're working it on the outer side. It's with Clough. Let's see what he does with the footy. He'll now go long. They're playing a little bit of tempo now.
It's a great kick.
It is.
Macklin Lord, John, that kick.
Spotting him up again. Good on you, Don. He'll be watching a bit later this week too, I'd reckon.
Quick ball to
Seb
McKenna.
Bell out the back
McKenna
here.
marks it at centre half forward. Wheels around to Seb Bell Bartel. As Don Moran just called, he was at the back. And he's got out the back a few times, Seb Bell Bartels. And a player of Pat McKenna's aura was never, ever going to miss that kick.
Do you feel his aura, Cam?
Aura.
So it'll be a chance for Bell Bartels, who's
know what that means,
already
Cam?
got 1 goal. eased 15 out directly in front. It's probably not the word I was thinking for, but it's the word I landed on.
I like it.
As he goes for it, the set shot, Bell Bartels puts the goal through, and this is making it very, very tough for the Strathfieldsaye Storm. And you just get the feeling the Dogs might run away with it in this last quarter with the breeze. They've now got 13 goals on the board. They're 13-10-88. The Storm 8-9-57. 3.5 minutes gone. Final quarter here at the QEO. Score sponsor Don's Small Goods. Don is good.
Yeah, lovely passage of play by Gisborne there. They went coast to coast without Strath touching the ball. Frank Chipano, lovely kick into McKenna.
Good news is, Cam, you're not making up words anymore. You're actually using words that exist as Lakey wins it out of the middle again. Here they come. It'll be a long kick forward. And inside forward 50. Should have been a mark. Bell Bartels in the area. He dives in after the footy. And at 48 metres out from goal, Dogs in attack. And they should have marked that one, Don, shouldn't they? They had a big chance.
Yeah, Harry Luxmore, he got his hands on it. He did everything that he needed to do. He protected the drop of the ball and just couldn't quite hang on at the last moment.
So Ratcliffe goes up. Gisborne win it down. Lord gets it. It was Dennehy that did the ruck work. Lord sent it to the top of the square. McKenna comes out. Couldn't quite take it. Bell Bartels at the front of the pack. Sharks it, snaps and goals. 3 to Bell Bartels. 2 in a row. 14 Dogs. 14-10-94 Gisborne. They are in control of this game. And the Strathfieldsaye Storm are at 6s and 7s in this final quarter. They're 8-9-57. Score sponsor, Rural and Outdoors, Castlemaine.
Yeah, and you mentioned it in the second quarter, Don. Blake out of the centre. That was a good tap down there. Got it out onto the wing to Ryan Burke, and it was a lovely kick by Burke into Luxmore, who just couldn't quite take the mark. But the Dogs players were able to take a second chance at it and get a good goal.
Back in the middle. They're kicking away here, the Dogs. Up goes Blake in the ruck. He's been good. Lakey tries to offer support, but it was a good bit of work by Clossy of the Storm. He eventually won it. Then he sends it inside forward 50 to the Barnard Street end. Charles was the target. Lakey coughed up the ball for the Dogs. Spills in the middle. Trotter getting involved. They're all getting involved. Clough back in it. He sends it to Merritt. Merritt to the outer side wing. He'll go long. Inside forward 50. McKenna's in the hot spot. Front position. Hallinan did well. Spills to the back of the pack. Mopping up will be Murphy of the Storm. Sends it wide and he might just keep it. His target was Gill. An ordinary looking bounce on the end of a handball is Gill. Short over the top to Harvey. And they're away off half back now, even though they're slowing it down a little bit now. Cam?
Yeah, Matt Harvey's the player with possession as he chips it down the line. Sheen comes in. He had to take it over the top of his teammate there in Charlie King. Almost got in the way. Accidentally kicked some across to Jackson Lay. Jackson Lay, of course, under 18 product from the Storm, has managed 10 senior games this year. Chips it out wide again to Shannon Murphy. So Murphy has it. Grandstand side wing. Across half back. He'll send it in the Malik Gordon direction. Gordon strong above head, takes the mark, and he might have copped one for his troubles as well from Liam Spear.
Yeah, height advantage there from Gordon against Spear.
So Gordon quickly gets back up, plays on the right, shanks the kick a little bit. He's holding his face as well, so keep an eye on that one, Don Moran. Looks like he might be heading towards the bench. Ball around centre half forward, off hands. And yeah, it's exactly what's happening as he comes off the ground. Looks a little bit proppy as well. Ball up across half forward.
Yeah, I think he copped an unintentional finger in the eye.
Almost time to put them on ice. Probably a little fraction early as the Storm will win it out of the stoppage through Sheen. He goes inside forward 50. And a mark's been taken by Charles of the Storm.
Why would he play on in that situation?
Well, it was time on, I think.
Yeah, umpire had called time off.
But it shouldn't matter if he quickly turns on and has the snap.
Not if the umpire's called time off, he brings the ball back.
So, Charles, back to where we started. We've had a couple of players do that, Norm, that's played on when the whistle's been blown.
Yeah.
But if you're the forward player, it should be...
No, if you can't...
If the umpire calls time off, that's it.
Anyway,
So
he's got the Ben Brown run up, hasn't he?
Let's have a look. He's kicking against a pretty stiff breeze. Kick straight and true. Goes through the middle for Charles. Is there a heartbeat? Let's see what the Storm can do. Score sponsor, Rural and Outdoors Castlemaine, where local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. The Storm, that takes their score to 9-9-63, trailing the Dogs 14-10-94, 8 minutes, final term.
And that's Charles' third goal for the second half. He's certainly been a live wire up forward for Strath since half time and given them something to kick to.
Back in the middle we go. Knocked forward for the Storm. Geary goes through, couldn't quite take it. Shannon Murphy then has to go across half back. Battling away. The Dogs have got plenty of numbers. They'll wheel the ball inside forward 50. McKenna out on a lead, marks it underneath the scoreboard. And gee, it has just been evident that his lead at the footy is just been one step in front of Mitch Hallinan at all times today, Don.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Mitch now. He's been moved there. He hasn't played on him all day.
He's a terrific player, young Hallinan, but just...
I don't think that's his spot, though.
No, every time McKenna comes out hard at the footy, he just seems to be 1 or 2 steps behind him. McKenna plays on, snaps it around on the left and puts through the goal. So he's also got 5. 5 to him, 5 to Dylan Johnson as well, and 15 in total to Gisborne. So they are in control now. The Storm get one and Gisborne answer back straight away. 15-10, 100 to the Strathfieldsaye Storm. 9-9-63, 9.5 gone in the final quarter. Score sponsor, Daily Bricklaying and Construction.
Yes, that's 2 to Seb Bartels and 2 to McKenna in this last quarter already for the Gisborne Bulldogs.
Silver service in this last part of the game, isn't it, Don?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of pressure there, was there?
No. Will the Storm bring it out of the middle here? They need to find something. Fresh area by Sheen. They managed to somehow move it forward between the centre to half forward. But it'll be a mop up by Clough of the Dogs. Long ball. Luxmore was the target. Offering support, picked up the footy, was Young. Dogs in possession now. They'll go inside forward 50. McKenna is 1-on-1 with Hallinan. In fact, it was 2-on-1. Bell Bartels at 50. Leicester, good strong tackling. Didn't get rewarded. It will be a ball up right on the 50 mark. Dogs in attack, 100 playing 63. They lead. 10 minutes gone, final term.
Throw in. Coming off hands. Handball forward, Merritt. They go backwards to Young. Then Young goes backwards again by handball to Spear. Worked a long way up the ground. Spear sends inside. McKenna comes in from the back. Couldn't quite take the mark. Spills to ground. Bell Bartels quickly fed out the handball. It'll be a flying shot out of there from Gisborne. It's gone goalwards, and it's floated through for a goal. An absolute brilliant goal. It's Pat Trotter. Trotter puts the goal through, and Gisborne have now got another goal. And it is now 16 for the Dogs. 16-10, 106 to the Strathfieldsaye Storm. 9-9-63, 10.5 gone. Final quarter. Score sponsor, JB Restumping.
Yes, it's a one-way procession at present. Ball's hardly gone into the Strath forward 50 in this quarter, and Gisborne making the most of every opportunity when it goes forward.
So back in the middle, I'd hate to see a bit of a blowout here because Storm have been better than that under pretty tough conditions. Lord will run onto the footy, defensive side of the circle. He'll handball back to Spear. Grab it, don't punch it. It was fortunate. Gave it straight to Zach Danahy.
He knew exactly what he was doing, Johnny.
Well, he did. It's going to pay off on this occasion. Oh, Benaki gets Storm player high with an elbow. It was Gill. He's got up, Gill. That's luckily. Comes to the wing. Hits King. I'm a poet, don't know it. King on the left for the Storm. Poor kick. Turnover. It'd be the Dogs again. Rebound off half-back.
Yeah, they rebound off half-back, selling some candy, then setting it up the line. Ratcliffe got the punch to Hallinan, then Hallinan ran himself into all sorts of trouble. The tackling came from Luxmore, and he's pinned holding the ball is young Mitch Hallinan. So Luxmore has the chance. 65 out from goal, Harry Luxmore.
He was indicating he was having a shot. He's gone inside to Macklin Lord.
So Lord's got it. Let's see if he hits a target with this next kick. Don Moran. Lord's kick is, well, it's an absolute shocker to say the least, but it might work out. Dogs handball it off. Flying shot will come from Shane Clough. Clough goes goalwards through for a minus score.
He's not going to want to watch this.
What are you laughing at, Don Moran?
He doesn't want to.
107.
He won't want to listen to this audio when he reviews this tape.
The Storm 9-9-63. Luckily for them, it is being broadcast live with all this commentary.
So the kick in from fullback for the Storm. Number of possessions ends up in a turnover beyond 50 as you two guys discuss Macklin Lord. Gordon, handball, forward. Oh, mucking it up there for the Storm was Sheehan. Hurry kick out of the pack now for Dogs who will bring it back. the other way. The kick come from Normington. It's now on 50. Dogs are in attack. Ratcliffe did well. He spread it wide. He's got one on in the middle. Clossy will run through the centre of the QEO. By hand to Jackson Lay. By hand forward. They've got the runners to Sheen. Sheen will go into the pocket. And a mark's been taken by Riley Wilson. And that was a better build-up, Don.
Yeah, it was. Back through the corridor, but I will say you don't want to blow out, but just watching then, Clossy's a great player, but very lazy in the middle, relied on his defenders to possibly get a win. So he got lucky, I think. So luck plays a lot in footy, and that was just an opportunity now for Riley White to have a set shot. Riley Wilson, there you go, and he's kicked the goal too because he celebrated to the box. Now, Riley's usually a midfielder, John, and I know he's carrying a bit of a leg, so they've put him up front.
Yeah, well, it was a good goal, wasn't it? It was a pretty tight angle. So put it through for the Storm, but too little too late in this game. The Storm, 10-9-69, trailing Gisborne, 16-11-107. 14 minutes gone. Final term, score sponsor, Rural and Outdoors Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yeah, it was a good run by Jackson Lay there. He's got better and better as this game's gone on, and it was a lovely kick forward.
Ernst won it down for the Storm. Gisborne go flying through. No taken. No clean possession taken, I should say. Ball up again. Gisborne handball it out. Johnson to Lord. And then Lord sends it even further wide. Kick bounces nicely for its intended target on the far side. Trotter. Handballing backwards to go forward to the Dogs. Short pass into the middle of the ground. They'll then go inside forward 50 Gisborne, coming from a long way back, but uncontested. Lead up at the footy is a mark to Zach Dennehy. And he comes out. That's Dennehy, not Dennehy. And he marks it underneath the scoreboard. And he will line them up. Ben Lester stands the mark. But it has just been all too easy for Gisborne's forwards coming out today. And how many times have we seen that where the kick has been spot on to a lead going inside forward 50, Don?
Yeah, the pressure's gone off the ball carrier, isn't it? So get a bit of silver service, as John mentioned.
So Dennehy comes in. And, well, he shanks the kick right to the line. In fact, it might have even gone through. How has no one from Strathfieldsaye touched that one? What happened then? It's a goal to Dennehy. And, well, it looked like it was going to fall up short. Strathfieldsaye let it go, and it goes through for a goal. So Dennehy, the beneficiary, and it is now 17-11, 113 to Strathfieldsaye 10-9-69. But am I deceiving me that someone could have possibly touched that one?
Well, he nearly got robbed by Harry Luxmore.
Nearly did, yes.
Harry Luxmore was the only one that jumped at it.
So how can no one's from Strathfieldsaye go up at it?
Well, where's the ruckman? Oh, here we go. Ernst has gone down to full back now. Jeez, they're asking a lot of him, aren't they?
North Central's having another cracking final series. It's 12 minutes into the last quarter, and as Birchip watch him leading Sea Lake Nandoli by 4 points.
4-point margin in that big game. There's back here at the QEO. The ball was won from the middle marginally by Gisborne. Spreads it wide. Picked up there by Jackson Lay. Dished it off to teammate Malquini getting involved. It's a poor kick. Spear has been pretty good overall this afternoon for the Dogs.
Very solid.
That's a
he
great
goes
kick.
down the line to Trotter, who's left by himself. Trotter now to half forward. He kicks it inside forward 50. Belbar tells us the target. Bit severe for him. Hallinan tries to pick up the footy. Might have got one in the back by Belbar tells. Umpire Norton didn't agree, and it'll be a stoppage. 40 from home for the Dogs.
That inside 50 was for Zach Dennehy.
That's what I was about to say, and I reckon Bell Bartels jumped in front of him and just put off what might have landed on Dennehy's chest. As it comes out, Storm try to handball their way out of pressure as Clossy goes over the boundary line. Will get a boundary throw in.
You would have said that if you're not doing comments, though. That's what you would have said.
Just looking at the right window here, Eagle Hawk coach Travis Matheson watching on, of course. Big game tomorrow between Eagle Hawk and Golden Square, which we'll be back for here at the home of country footy in Bendigo tomorrow afternoon.
At 1:30 as the umpire throws it in, Lester and Dennehy of the Dogs do battle. Ball to the top of the square defensively. Storm a hurried kick from that defensive zone. Oh, 1-2 Harvey, I reckon, he's collared his opposition player for the Dogs. Just see who it is. His jumper's up over his his face.
It'll be Ryan Bird.
Ryan, thank you, Norm. By hand, dish it off to Spear. Spear gets collared. Must be a free kick. Charles did well for the Storm. Turnover. It's going to be another turnover after turnover.
What is going on out there?
Ainsworth now of the Dogs. He'll send it to the hot spot. And Riley Wilson floats and he marks it for the Storm and he'll spread it wide and find Ratcliffe.
Quickly rise it out to Shannon Murphy, but not sure what was going on. Cue the Benny Hill music as they kick the ball into the middle of the ground. Coming into the game is Chambers in the second half. Gets it out wide. Now the Storm bang it inside forward 50. Jones down there the target. It spills out the back. Charles, handball out, looking for Jones again. Couldn't quite get a clean run at the footy. Gisborne's defence is strong through Matt Merritt. Merritt handballs off and they clear the kick out of defence. That comes from Johnston up the line. Mark taken, Dogs, they work it even further forward. Luxmore comes out and leads the footy.
Got a couple of score updates there, Cam. Close games going on around Central Victoria.
20 of them, 15 minutes into the last quarter in Heathcote, and it is dead level. 65 playing 65 between Leachville Gumbauer and North Bendigo. Birchip Watcham now leading by 3 points as well against Sea Lake Nandaly.
Trotter for the Dogs goes inside forward 50, but it was a poor kick. Ernst in his defensive zone. He mopped up and took a mark.
Thanks to Wayne Smith as always.
Gave it to Gill by hand. Gill. He then kicks it in the direction of Mel Quinney. Mel Quinney might have got one high, but Lester gets involved. Little handball over the top. But I agree with you, Don. You're giving me the incorrect disposal, but the boundary line won, and we'll have a ball up. 70 from home. Dogs in attack. Broadcast side right in front of us in the commentary position. I'll give it to you, Cam, because that is the type of bloke I am.
Plenty of finals still in the balance, which will bring you all those scores as they come through. Heathcote League, North Central, Loddon Valley and MEMC DFNL, all games are still in contention late into the last quarter. So hang around for full-time scores from those games. Here at headquarters, it's Gisborne in complete control of this one, 113 to 69. Ball up. Leicester had a pretty high ruck advantage there, but he won it to ground, but straight to Benaki, handballed off to Luxmore. Luxmore will go
Merritt.
goalwards.
Merritt.
He's given it to Merritt. Merritt puts the goal through. So Merritt kicks the goal for the Dogs. His second on the day. And, well, they are in cruise control now. The Dogs, they have set themselves. They will take on Sandhurst here next Saturday. It is 8-11, 119 to the Strathfieldsaye Storm, 10-9-69. Who will have to await the winner of tomorrow's elimination final between Eaglehawk and Golden Square. Score sponsor, Parsons Towings, Castlemaine.
Just having a look at the bench here, Norm, and Braden Blake having a bit of a rest, arms crossed. Pretty happy with it. Paddy McKenna's on the bench as well, as is their captain, Jack Reaper.
Dennehy, that's Zach doing the ruck work for the Dogs. They'll win it through the middle here, the Storm. Bode Stevens gets one too high from Lakey of the Dogs. So Stevens, he feels like to me he's been quiet this afternoon too, Bode Stevens. Ordinarily he's pretty good. So they'll mop up off half back through Ainsworth, the Dogs. Still in that forward zone now for the Storm, but there's no great momentum as it comes out for the Dogs, and a mark's been taken by Bell Bartels, and he's had a couple of diamond moments in this game. He's going to be important in this final series. Matt Merritt breaks for him, but floating in front of the pack was Murphy of the Storm. Turnover, Clossy involved, handball forward to Harvey.
So Harvey runs off with the footy for the Storm, sends it inside forward 50. It sets up okay for Charles. Charles is unable to do anything with the footy though, bouncing around. Gisborne turnover. They'll clear the ball into the middle of the ground. The Dogs didn't quite carry it.
Everybody.
Intended target Darcy Young. The wind got a hold of that one. Ratcliffe went without the footy. Tried to shepherd for Gill to come through, and eventually Ratcliffe then had to dive on top of it. We'll have a ball up right on the painter. 50. Bendigo Town end of the ground. Gisborne and Strathfieldsaye qualifying final from the QEO. One down. Storm through Gordon, just hammers it as far forward as he can. No mark taken off hands. It's going to be, well, trying to claim the mark was Shapano. But the umpire said no, it was off hands. We'll have a ball up.
Probably had a fair case there, Cam. I think he got his fist to it, and he took the second one.
Cross half forward. Dogs in control of this game. They're going to win it. They're one of the favourites. Harvey now to Mel Quinney by hand of the Storm. Too high, Norm, I reckon?
Oh, I thought it was, but he's got away with it.
I actually think the umpire's been pretty good today. They
have, yes.
Always good, John.
I think so. As pretty tough job. As Lakey probably
It's a drop kick.
Yeah, he didn't correctly dispose of it. Harvey won it for the Storm. Sends it inside forward 50. It's only shallow. Chambers, a little fist on it.
That's ball.
Clossy, he's tackled. That is ball. He went to kick it and he got upended. And the free kick will go to Lakey of the Dogs.
So Lakey and Gisborne are still wanting to move this ball quickly. He finds a teammate running away with it down the far wing. Now they chip it up the line, the Dogs. They're away. They've got the move up towards centre half forward. Diving mark taken by Trotter. He's coming to the game in the second half. Quick handball off from Trotter to a teammate. His teammate will run inside forward 50. Is it Johnson again that's gone goalwards?
I reckon it is.
It would have been, yes.
And he has put it through for a minor score.
You've got to love his work rate. He was the one that received the ball in the back pocket, and then he's got a running shot on goal from forward 50.
Doesn't matter who you call. I reckon if you say Johnson, you've got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. That's how much influence he's having.
Yeah.
But it now will be the Dogs off half forward. Bell Bartels on the end of a handball. He goes round the body. He goes to the top of the square. Off hands Ernst, and Blandford kills it for a minor score. And that takes Gisborne to 121, leading Storm 69. 24 minutes gone, final term.
Blandford quickly brings the ball back into play. Chip to Matt Harvey. Harvey handballs to Blandford. Blandford kick smothered, but it bounced okay for him off the smother. He quickly dished it off to Hallinan. Hallinan dishes off the kick down the far wing. Now they're away. It's running Jai Chambers. I've liked his second half. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce, 4 bounce. Inside forward 50 Chambers. This would be a good link-up play if someone can get on the end of it. Free kick played. Gisborne player in front.
Solid Liam Spears.
Liam Spear has been absolutely...
Excellent return back to the senior side.
He has been magnificent. Liam Spear, he'll chip the ball into the back pocket. And it'll be taken by Ryan Burke.
Burke, short pass.
Ooh,
Oh, it's dangerous. It went corridor. They've got numbers here and playing with some confidence. Normington just went one way, then the other. On the end of a handball again. They're going to mop up after a messy bit of play. Gray now. 15 metres out from the boundary line. Short pass forward. Brings it down the broadcast wing. It's a long kick to half forward. Johnson did okay. He's at ground level. Lord on the end of a handball. Over the top, Luxmore. He's at 50. Short pass over the top. Puts it into the path of Merritt. Merritt looked to play on. He's 15 metres in from the boundary line in the forward pocket.
He's still teasing John.
He'll steady. Now he goes. He goes corridor. He's got a player on, unmatched, unmarked, right basically at the top of the square. 30 from home. And this will be a shot at goal now for Gisborne. Just pick up who it is for you.
Trotter.
You reckon it's Trotter with the footy? He's had a fair bit of it. You reckon I'd be able to pick up his face from this time in the game? They've been all good, those mid-sized runners for the Gisborne. 121 playing 69. 1, 2, 3 step and fails on that occasion for a minor score, which takes Gisborne to 122, leading the Storm 69, 25 gone. Final term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. This quarter sponsored by Central Kitchens in Bendigo.
And we've got our first full-time score of the afternoon, thanks to Paul Wicks, who's up at Maryborough. Lexton 9-9-63 have defeated Denali 5-12-42. So Lexton will go on to play the Trentham Saints in a prelim final next weekend.
As that was going on, Cam, the ball was kicked out and Max Merritt in the media was getting involved for another minor score. So a turnover from fullback. It's all happening in the background. So Trotter's got another shot, Don. Is that the end result?
Yeah, well, Max Merritt.
And the media,
He managed to get a handball receive and try and slot a banana from the pocket, and a quick kick in, which we've seen all day, come unstuck for both sides, been turned over, and Trotter's at his second shot, John.
He missed from the other side this time. Yeah, that's right, Norm. So it takes 124 playing 69.
He hasn't heard your coaching tip then, has he?
No, well, I actually believe that when you're kicking with a win, because they just overthink it.
20 minutes into the last quarter, Leachville Gumbauer lead North Bendigo 77-71, and Birchip Watcham are 2 points ahead of Sea Lake Dan Daly late in the last quarter as well.
So the ball is now on a half back with Gill, who received a handball. Short pass to King. King dropped a mark he should have taken. Gill now tries off a support, grabbed it one-handed. Should have been a free kick, Don. It's going to be a stoppage.
Yeah, umpire was on the wrong side of that, and that's the only way that's gone that way.
It's an interesting scoreline going on in the Heathcote District Footy League. Norm Jenkins did call Leachville Gumbauer betting North Bendigo if that does happen to be out that way, which it's looking like it's a good chance, as Gill here for Strathfieldsaye somehow manages to get the kick forward for the Storm. Bouncing around Flynn Lakey goes through. Almost basketball, bounced the ball back up to himself. Umpire blindsided it, caught puts the ball up. No, handball quickly came out.
Geez, they're letting it go, aren't
They
they?
are happy to let this game fly. Shannon Murphy puts on his dancing shoes and slide steps one way, then side steps the other. Before sending it inside forward 50, Riley Wilson at the back of the pack couldn't get away. And Gisborne will clear the ball back, but it's a panic handball. Vescovi had to handball it out of there. It's sharked. It's a flying shot at goal for the Storm. Didn't quite see who got the boot to ball on that one.
Riley Wilson.
Riley Wilson.
Yeah,
who
off
puts
the
through
ground
minor
it was.
score.
Almost a nice soccer goal.
124 plays 70, and we're about to blow the siren at any moment here at the QEO. Gisborne in control.
Normington will kick it out from the Barnard Street end. He'll in fact play on from fullback. He trots off, and then he'll kick it looking for Zach Danahy, but it comes to the back of the pack. Standing there is Gill.
He's got a free kick. He's been
Free kick the other way.
hands in the back.
Hands in the back. Gill
Caleb
gives it
Ernst
back to
gave
him.
it away.
He's done that a couple of times, Ernst, hasn't he?
Short pass 30 metres forward. It's Gray. Benaki on the end of it. Then he goes short, inside forward 50, shallow. Got players running left, right and centre. It was a good little handball to the running player in Gray. Gray puts it to the top of the square now for the Dogs. Under pressure, Benaki puts it on the outside of the boat and puts it through for a minor score. 125 playing 70, 28 gone. Final term, which is brought to you by our sponsors, Rural and Outdoors Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Gisborne bring the ball back in. The Storm bring the ball back in a play. Far wing, they'll clear it up. Murphy, who's been good in this last quarter, takes the mark quickly, gets the handball moving. Siren sounds as racing away Jai Chambers, but it is a professional performance from the Dogs, and they run out victors 18-17, 125 to the Strathfieldsaye Storm 10-10-70. Score sponsor brought to you by JB Rees Stumping, the goal kickers in this game for Gisborne. Couple of bags. Pat McKenna, 5. Dylan Johnson, 5. 3 to Bell Bartels. 2 to Matty Merritt. Singles to Danahy, Trotter, and Clough. Danahy, I should say. And for the Storm, Riley Wilson, Lockie Gill, Cooper Jones, Malik Gordon, Dan Clossy, Paddy Blanford, Jai Chambers, singles, and 3 to Zach Charles.
His father